Welcome, Internet, to the Place in Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie E, the Hype Reese, and Delvin down at Gamescon.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down at Gamescon. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't tell. Gamescon.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Is that your GameStop? Is that what it's called? We finally figured
No, that's
out
Cal the
stores?
Pug's. That's his con. It's Cal's con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
kept calling it Gamescon, so I was like, I'll just roll with it. That's the new
I
name
like-
now.
I like the
That's
idea
where he's
that
at.
he just goes to GamesCon,
Mhm.
gets conned out of his video game pre-orders and basketballs and shit.
Pretty much. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's-
And that
it
would be
fits.
why
It's very
Delvin's
fitting.
like, fuck you, Kyle the Pug, because you're out here conning
It's
me
very
out of
fitting.
all my shit. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Feel like Kyle Pug runs it. Makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense now.
It all's coming together.
All coming together. The man. Who knew the man was Kyle the Pug? Fuck you, Kyle the Pug. The white man all these years I've been talking about, been trying to hold me down. It's all along been Kyle the goddamn Pug. Who would have
Damn.
thunk it?
Not me.
Wow.
Wow.
Guess it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Checks out.
So speaking of Gamescon, how you doing down there, Delvin? How are things down in Florida?
Busy, but everything's pretty good, man. You know, I actually played a game for once. Surprise.
Holy shit.
Holy
So
shit.
did I.
Fucking
Holy
impressive.
shit.
Look at us.
Look
Wow.
at us. I got down play some Dustborn. Have you guys heard of this game?
No.
No.
Okay. Dustborn is the new game by Quantic Dream.
Okay.
And I know you think of like what was the last one they came out with that people didn't like? Well, they liked it, but it was just
I love Detroit.
political-
That was great.
Detroit. It's a
How they
storytelling
remade a
game.
Star Wars game.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
never coming out. That's never
Yeah.
coming out. Like, I don't know. See, I don't know if you remember this, Donnie. During the pandemic, David Cage got a lot of trouble. He was saying some shit that he should have been saying.
I mean, that
Yeah,
don't stop
really.
games from coming
Yeah,
out.
that's not going to stop the whole studio.
It'll put a pause
Yeah,
on some
they're
things,
still
but
working on it. TV announced Star Wars
that ain't-
Eclipse.
they're still
Yeah,
working on a lot of things that's not coming out.
Oh, okay. Quantic Dream did not make Dustborn. I was wondering about this. Quantic Dream,
they published it.
they published it. Red
Yes.
Thread Games made it.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Because I know that they, I was thinking Under the Waves was the game that I played last year, which I liked a lot. And
Yes.
it was published by Quantic Dreams.
yeah, because apparently Quantic Dream's publishing a lot of these really good games that they have nothing to do with, but their names on them. And Dustborn is
it's
one
not
of them.
just them. No, it's not. They're not doing. They're putting their money into it. They're providing
I don't care
marketing
about
stuff,
that.
and they get a cut of the profits. A lot of folks do this. The Image and Form
Yeah.
folks do this. Thunderful is a publishing arm. A lot of folks have a publishing arm. If you're a semi-successful dev studio, I would say indie dev studio. But you don't have to be indie dev. If you're a semi-successful dev studio, then you have a name that when you put your logo on things, people pay attention to. They click on trailers. That's valuable
Yes.
to a small game. So be like,
Yeah,
hey,
but this-
we will publish it. We will get you in touch with our pipelines, and we'll take 10%.
Yeah,
You know,
but this wasn't
How
always
it
the thing for
works.
Quantic Dream. Usually when people think of Quantic Dream games, they think of David Cage,
sure, yeah,
which
Yeah.
is fine. And this is why I bring up Dustborn, because Dustborn is like a fucking Telltale game. That's literally what it is. It's a modern Telltale game, and it's fucking awesome. I'm surprised it's under the Quantic Dream name. It is super cool. The idea of it is fascinating because what it is there's these group of friends from all different backgrounds that are all pretty cool. They remind me of Crystal and her friends.
Okay.
They do crimes. They do a crime.
You gotta do
and they're-
crimes.
they're wanted by the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the powers they have are all like controlled by voice. So there are certain actions while you play the game that you can do commands that will like either control a character in different types of ways. Like you can make one character can make you do what they want to do. Another character can make you feel empathy. It's just based off of the action in the game, just like a Telltale game. So instead of fighting, you use your words, and you get into situations where you have to just like all the old school Telltale games where you have to do quick time events or something like that, and you have to make choices on and based off your choices, things happen. Like I'll give you an early one. Like you get pulled over by the cops early in the game, and you have the 4 characters in the car, and you can choose who talks to the cop and what power they use with the cop, and based off what you choose, it affects the story. And one of the characters is panicking because they know what they have in the car is illegal, and they think they know the cops is after them. Another character's kind of like, calm the fuck down.
How's the black character reacting during all this?
That's the thing, Dev. All of them are minorities.
I didn't ask you that. I said, how's the black character reacting?
There's more than one black character. So the black character. Yes. It's a real diverse game, and it's really freaking cool. And I'm really digging it so far. I'm still early in the game, but I made my choice, and something really bad happened. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect that to happen. And I'm like, okay, let's keep rolling with the story. And I really dig it. It's bright, it's colorful, and it looks like a Telltale game. It plays better than a Telltale game because it's shell shaded, like a modern Telltale game, like the last season of Walking Dead, essentially.
It's animated. I don't know if it's not cell shaded. Doesn't look
it's
very
animated.
I mean, it's cartoony.
Yeah, very cartoony.
It's got that comic-y look.
Like comic book.
It looks kind of like Borderlands, actually.
Yeah.
That works too. But it plays out like a comic book too, because after you finish the chapter, it shows you like the comic book panels and stuff like that. It's really cool. I think Telltale last season Walking Dead was doing something similar to that as well. And
Steam review, 17 hours in, and I have been enjoying the storyline. It's an interesting take on such a timeline for America. The controls can be a little funky when playing music. Making sure to calibrate settings have helped tremendously. The flip side, a very boring visual novel that starts in a terrible spot and doesn't get any more involved or interesting from there. So it only has 20 reviews on Steam so far.
I will say this.
For
the audience who sits there and makes these arguments about things being woke, this might not be for you.
Stay woke.
Yes. For those people who say those type of things, this may not be for you. But
this is some IGN carrying water shill video game you're playing, Delvin? Is that what you're saying?
Right, Johnny. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. This is what I've been missing from video games, story-based video game. Seems cool so far. I'm loving the story. And it's really cool. Doesn't seem like it's too long. I'm going to get through it. It's not expensive. It's like $29.
Yeah. I downloaded the demo. So I'll take the demo for a spin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good idea. I like it.
We'll see how it goes.
Very nice.
Only thing I'm doing is terrible, so no.
Yeah, I figured you were going to be like, yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. I ain't been doing shit but playing Star Wars Outlaws. We got a review code from Ubisoft. Thank you, Ubisoft, for providing us with this code. Started that last night. Can't really say anything other than I'm playing it for review, and you'll hear all of my thoughts. I'm gonna do my best impression of Donnie and his notes on our next podcast. So next Wednesday, you'll hear all of my thoughts about the game, good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah, so folks, put your questions together. You can get those submitted in now.
Yeah.
And next week on the podcast, Dev can answer them.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's all I've been doing. I finally found a game to play thanks to Donnie. It ain't Avatar.
You should put that on the box.
Yeah, thank God. Yes.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I can't say anything else other than I'm playing the game. That's pretty much it. So
Will they cancel the
Champion.
game after one season?
Yes, they probably will. Fucking Disney. Ugh, rat bastards. But yeah, it's nice to be playing something again that actually has my interest because as of late, I've just been like, haven't wanted
Sure.
to play anything. So it's good.
I'm dying to hear
have
about
something.
it. I hope you like it. I'm not telling you should like it, but I hope you do because I want to like it. I'm not into
You
Star
definitely
Wars
will
all
like
that much, but ever since I've seen this game, like I've wanted to play it. I
You
just
sure
don't
you
really
want me
have
to like
time.
it then?
I just don't have time right now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I love Star Wars, so I'm excited for it.
This is
This
the
might be
one
the
that
Star
I
Wars I
was totally on the fence about. Like nothing about the game really won me over to be like, I gotta play this day one. So we'll see. We'll see. Donnie, what the hell you been up to? Because you actually play games.
I do.
Me and
Yeah.
Delvin dabble.
Fancy
Yes.
that. I've been playing Hoopsland on my iPad with my little Razer controller.
The fuck is that?
Hoopsland. I posted some screenshots in the Discord.
That
It's this
sounds
little
made
mobile
up.
game. It's not. It's like that game that we found on Steam a couple weeks ago. What is that basketball game called?
Oh, okay. Like the
I
like
forget
the
what it's
NES
called.
basketball game. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's like double dribble.
Dribble.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't remember what that full court heroes.
Yes,
that it?
that's
That
it.
sounds
Yeah.
about right.
This game is honestly, they look the same. Like if you were to see this game, you're like, those are the same game. But this is on mobile. Play it on iOS. It's not on Apple Arcade. You can just buy the game. It has a free to play version. You buy it for $5. When you buy it for
P-Lock's gonna be happy.
$5, you unlock the ability to import content from other creators. You can just go to YouTube and find a Hoopsland creator, and you can just download a link. And like I'm sorry, not download. You just grab a link, put it in your game, and you can import like all of the college rosters in schools and arenas, or all of the NBA players and arenas and or all the WNBA, but whatever you want. So I for $5, I was like, this is cool. I like basketball. I can play this, a little time waster. And I imported all of the NBA league and all of the players, and I took over a franchise and I started playing the Cavs. And yeah, I mean it's pretty rudimentary, but like it's tight. Like I've lost games, like just something like, you know, normally when I'm playing 2K, like I can, if I'm really trying and not simulating quarters and stuff, like I can typically win if I want to. This one, like sometimes I just get beat, man. Like it's a make or miss league. It's like everything's like a 1 minute quarter, so it's very short games. It's very like retro bowl, but basketball.
Let me ask you a question because you made it glazed over it. You can import women players in the game, so you can
I
make
believe
the whole.
so. Yeah, I saw people.
So that's cool.
I saw people you could do that because the leagues, the teams, the players are all custom. So if you've got somebody out there that wants to make the WNBA, you can go do it. Like that's up to them. They can do it. I did not import the WNBA. I just imported the NBA. But I have seen that mentioned several times. So I'm under the impression that you can if you wanted to.
That's really
so
cool.
for $5, I got this little lo-fi NBA basketball game on my iPad that I can just play, you know, whenever I want to waste some time. It's fun. I thought I wanted to mention it. I think when the other game comes out on Steam, I think I'll just move to that and play that anyway, because I think it's going to be a bigger, you know, more fledged out game. Speaking of that, actually, I didn't write this down. Not sure yet. Not counting my chickens for the hatch. Kind of sure though, because I kind of have an inside track. Think I'm going to get the new ally tomorrow. I think that's going to happen. It all just depends on how good it is when I get there. Like if it's good and decent shape, like it says it is, I think I'm going to get one and bring it home.
That's dope.
So, yeah,
What's the new one?
So
it's
they released a revision. Yeah, it's black, all black, everything. They released a revision about a month ago, and it kind of fixes everything. It has more RAM. They fixed the SD card. It is black, but the biggest thing about it, like honestly, like the big thing, it more than doubles the battery life that the original model had. Like they've revised it in a way, they've repackaged everything where they could stick a much bigger battery in there. So when I had the Ally before, remember I talked about if you were playing like a new game at good settings, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe battery life, like you were not playing it very long unless you could plug into power somewhere. This one, there are people doing these tests and stuff for the exact same games, 3.5, 4 hours. If you're playing like some indie games, which is really what I really use my Ally for anyway, 5-6 hours. You're playing PS2 games and stuff like that. You get a lot more battery life out of it. Now it's also way more expensive. It's $800 out of the box,
Ooh.
which is why I was never interested. I was like, I'm never paying that much for a thing like this.
Yeah, that's a PC.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's a full-fledged its own thing. It also has like it has more RAM and stuff in it too. So there's a bit more to it. So here's what happened. I bought a car a month ago, right? And I had to buy this car online, like through the dealership or through the auto trader. So I paid with a credit card, and then I just paid myself back out of my checking, paid off the credit card. Well, all the rewards just cashed for that transaction. And I just got like $300 free. Like I wasn't expecting. They're like, yeah, here's some money. It was actually in total, because I pulled out some PayPal rewards too. In total, I had $340 of just rewards points. And I wanted to do something with it, like fun, before a fucking axle snapped or a transmission blew up or a water heater went bad. Like before something goes bad, happened. I was like, let's do something fun. And so here's where this starts. I was like, I'm gonna get like one of these retro handhelds that me and Garrett are always pinging each other on videos with, and we're in the Portable Pros, and we're always like, there's a new one, there's one every week, there's a brand new one every week. And I was like, maybe I'll finally get that Retroid Pocket. It's $200. It seems like a lot for emulation. But I was like, maybe I'll finally get it. That'd be kind of cool. So I start looking into it, start doing all the thing. I'm like, well, if I'm going to spend that much and I want to get one of those, maybe I'll get a Steam Deck, like that. Do a little bit more. Start looking around those and like, if I'm going to spend that much and get a Steam Deck, like, it doesn't really work if I can't play Game Pass and I can't do the other. So you see how this happens. So for giggles, I just go, if I wanted to, how much could I buy the new one for? And at the time last week, I had a Best Buy near me that had a return model for $629. Now that's a lot less than $800.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, wait a second, That's a different thing. I went to go look at it, and they had already sold it. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. But I know the guy that kind of works the gaming section at my Best Buy. He's like in the Geek Squad stuff. And he goes, hey, man, I'll let you know if we get another one or something. I was like, that's cool. Thanks. And I kind of forgot about it. And then I think the next day, a couple days later, he texted me. And he goes, hey, we don't have one. He goes, but the store in Columbus does. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's kind of a haul. It's almost 2 hours away. But I'm also going to kind of be near there tomorrow, like for work. Nice. I'm going to be like within 30 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to swing over there. And if it's good and it's nice, and, I think I'm going to buy it, because I'm only going to come out of pocket like $350, which I think is probably a pretty decent little trade.
Not bad.
And I have a new toy to mess around with. So I think I'm going to do that tomorrow.
That's cool. Speaking of handhelds, I won a Logitech G Cloud.
Did you really? On what? How did you win it?
On Twitter.
Dope.
That's awesome. What are you going to do with it?
I have no idea.
Remote play doesn't really work all that well off the official application. You can do it. There's like an app called PS Play, but you're not going to like it. It's not like very good. It's kind of jank. But you can do emulation. You can do Android games. You can do Game Pass streaming if you ever cash in that code I gave you or anything like that. Like there are things you can do with it. I like the G Cloud a lot. I'll tell you this. The screen on that thing is gorgeous. If Nintendo, I kept trying to tell people, like, not everything has to be OLED to be good. And the G-Tech, the G Cloud screen is really, really nice. The problem with that thing is that the chipset is just not all that great. Like, you can do emulation if you're running like NES and Super Nintendo games and things like that. It's fine, PS1 games. But if you're trying to get into like PS2, PS3, Xbox 3, oh no, don't.
No, I won't be doing that.
It doesn't play very nicely.
I'll give it to my son, and it'll be his little SNES, NES handheld device.
That's cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that. If you need any recommendations, there are lots of Android games that are good too. You can play Minecraft and things like that. Those are more optimized. Grand Theft Auto and Max Payne and things like that.
Oh, he ain't playing none of that.
No, you're not doing that.
No, he's not. He's not playing Max Payne or GTA. Absolutely not.
There are
Here,
other
sticking
ones
with the
I could look up.
Nintendo brand.
I could look up some. There are other ones too that I could recommend. Retro Bowl.
If it's free, sure. I'm not buying no
Eh,
Android games.
I think
It's
it
not
might be
happening.
free. I don't know.
Yeah. We're in the free
You got-
99 era here.
You got Netflix. Get those Netflix games. Yeah,
We'll see.
you could try and you can jump into those.
I
Whenever
think
it
there's a
gets here, we'll see
Transformers
what we'll
Netflix
do.
game.
There is.
Oh, he'll
You got
love
Teenage
that.
Mutant Ninja
There you go.
Turtles. You can get free through Netflix. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So back on track. Last week on Shaq, I went and saw Alien Romulus. Devin
Yep.
saw it the day before. And on Shaq, where there were people asking us questions about the Alien video games. And I remembered, now I remember exactly who told us. Nick told us some time ago, like, hey, we were talking about this some time ago, and he was like, there is a Metroidvania Alien game. Because that's always just been my answer. It's like Metroid is the Alien game. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, they just kind of just rip the whole thing off. That is what the Metroid franchise is. And he was like, yeah, Way Forward made one of those on DS. It's called Alien Infestation. And because I went and watched the movie and it was all the rage and I was seeing all the things, I was like, yeah, let's go try that. Threw that bad boy in my 3DS, and he is not lying. That game is awesome. I have been playing it kind of every day. I've been carrying around my 3DS. It's right. Like I could pull it out right now and open it. And I think I'm near the end now. I think I should be close to done. There's some pretty tough boss battles in that game, or at least tough by my standards. Like, but yeah, really fun and a very good like alien game. You meet the AI synthetic android guy. You got all of the damn xenomorphs everywhere, and the face huggers and the creepy crawlies, and it's very good, very good.
Nice.
You unlock all the things, get all the key cards, get all the elevators, do all the stuff. Good game. I'm liking that a lot. I'm glad you brought that up. And I love my hacked 3DS. If I can be a reminder out there to anybody, do crimes, man. The 3DS is awesome. You just put anything you want on that damn thing. I beat Cat Quest 3 about an hour ago. So put that one to bed, which I'm glad I got that off the plate and out of the way. I enjoyed that game quite a bit. That is a very good, like, open world game to introduce a new game or two. You got young kids, or you're like a newer gamer, maybe a teenager that hasn't really done like, anything outside of like platformers, and you want to give somebody like something where they can explore and go find things as opposed to being directed where to go all the time. That is a great first option. It's not too big that like you can get lost and just, like Breath of the Wild, like literally just get lost and wander somewhere you shouldn't be. But there's like always something around every corner. You get to drive a boat, you can fight other pirate ships, and you get to go do all these little dungeons, and it's every like bite-sized, ran well, looked great. I really enjoyed that game. It was a good game.
Nice.
I played the Funko Fusion demo yesterday.
How was it?
It's, if you like Lego games and you're interested in those properties, you're going to love Funko Fusions. Like, I kind of loved it. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted it to be. I was scared when they announced it. I was like, oh, this is going to be like some cashed in jank game. It's not. It's very good, at least on PC. I can't speak to, because the Switch version doesn't come out until like November, December. The only version that comes out in a couple weeks are consoles. So
what's the premise of the game?
So you may have to excuse me, because I'm not super in deep into like if there is any lore background on Funkos, because I don't know anything about that. But so I joined the game as any character from The Thing in the demo. So you could pick 4 characters from The Thing, the 1980s movie, The Thing. And I go into like this Funko museum, and there's like Funko Freddy. I'm not sure if that's a thing that anybody's supposed to know. I didn't know that. I was like, I guess he's Funko's mascot or something. I don't know what like this guy is. And he has like an evil alt that appears, and he takes the crown from Funko Freddy. And then they fight each other. And there's like this big Iron Man battle where they're fighting each other. And then the crown like shatters into pieces. And whoever goes and collects the pieces will become like ruler of this universe. Now, I will tell you this, something I didn't expect. He almost kills dude. And when I mean almost kills him, like by the power, like the skin and blood and stuff was dripping off his face, like he was becoming like zombified. I was like, you don't see that in a Lego game. Like, it's a little bit more mature than a Lego game. It's like a Lego game for adults. So that was cool. And then they just kicked me back off into so your whole point is you go off to your world and find the crown for Funko Freddy to beat the other guy before he gets there. And then as I imagine, because I only played the Thing demo, I imagine you're just going to keep going to all these different worlds that we know. So there's like I know Chucky's in it. We read off all the IPs that are in it before. There's a bunch of Warner Bros. Stuff that's in there.
Chucky, He-Man. It's a lot of like classic.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't remember them all. But there's a lot of them in there.
And the cool thing about Funko
Scott Pilgrim.
That, they have everything, so you can. I'm quite sure they're gonna just keep adding on to it infinitely, probably.
Yeah. So I was expecting kind of like what I would call like a low budget IP game. It's not that. The game plays
like
very nicely.
Brawl.
Yeah. I was thinking something like that. Like this is going to be like some sort of game mill. It's not. Like the game seems very well made. Like I think production wise, controls wise, animation wise, this is as good as any Lego game has been, and likely better actually than most of those that I've played. Maybe not Lego Skywalker good, because that was rather good, but maybe like right there with it. This isn't Lego The Hobbit or something like from 10 years ago. This is much better than that. This is better than like Lego City. I've played a lot of these games, and this is better than most. So I was impressed, and it reassured in my intention to buy this game. I won't be buying it day one because I can't play it because I've got 1,000 things to play in the next 4 weeks. But I will be playing it. I will be buying it soon. I'm tempted to wait for it on Switch because I kind of want to play it there. But I'm also wondering like how much of a hit does it take on Switch? Because like Lego
on your ROG Ally. The hell with
that's probably where I'm gonna play it.
Let me ask you a question.
Because like Lego 2K was not particularly great on Switch.
Yeah, I figured that much. Let me ask you a question. Is there voice acting in this game? Because I know with these games like this, I know people like the Lego games. People don't like the voice acting and stuff like that. And
that's a great question. Now that since you asked it, now I'm asking myself, like, is there? I don't know. I don't think so. I think everything was kind of implied and like little like mannerisms and stuff, but I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not like even sure on that, because I'll tell you this, and this really applied to Cat Quest 3. Dude, I am not interested in reading a bunch of text and hearing a bunch of dialogue in video games. I know I've kind of said this recently. This has been a thing that I've been on for like 3 months. I just want to play a video game. Like, I don't really give a fuck what's going on. I just want to play. I want to shoot shit. I want to jump on shit. I want to kick shit. Like, I want to do stuff. I don't want to sit here and listen to you give me like a novel before I fucking play. And I think that I double down on that in a demo. Dude, I don't give a fuck in a demo. Let me play. Let me figure out if this is something I want to play. I will pay attention to the story when I buy the game. Like I just want to get in and play. Let me play. So a part of my answer might be that I'm just like skipping through shit. I'm like Chalfieing the shit out of this because I'm like, dude, I want to do something. I have a limited time. I don't care. I generally feel that way, and I think the games that I've been playing for months now have been reflective of it. Like, I'm kind of tired of the games with so much narrative that they just dump, and you're like cutscenes. So I'm like, oh my, I just want to play something, man. I don't want to watch a movie right now. Like, this is why I'm here. I want to play football. I want to shoot stuff. Let me play Doom. Like, I've been very much attached to like tactile gamer feedback, like instantaneous feedback sort of game, and I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It's just been something that I've just been on for a minute. And I definitely noticed it with Cat Quest and at Funko. Funko was trying to explain to me about this purple shit, and I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I get it. He's the big guy. We're gonna fucking go figure it out from here. Like, I don't know. Like let me go. Please let me go. So yeah, I don't know if that helps you at all, Dalton.
Like it. It helped a lot. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you pre-order it, Delvin, you get Rick Grimes and Michonne.
You do, yeah. I remember.
So I get to actually play as Walking Dead characters in a fucking good game.
Yeah, I think so.
There's 60 plus characters across 20 different franchises. So
here's what I can tell you about those characters, though. In my limited time playing, every one of them played differently. They had different weapons, different weapons, different abilities. So like I had to switch characters to get like a dude with a flamethrower so I could melt the ice, or I had to switch characters to dude that could jump high, or I had to switch characters to dude that could dodge. So like there's a little bit to that too. That's a part of the game.
I can't wait.
This actually looks cool.
It's pretty good.
I'm shocked. I was watching the trailer while you guys were talking, and I'm like, this actually looks kind of cool.
I started pitching this in Shaq and in Discord like 3 or 4 months ago, and nobody seemed to be interested at all.
Didn't you? Wasn't you one who told me about it?
Yeah. It was just me and Devin and like kind of Kyle. Even Kevin was like, "This looks no," because it is. When I first saw it, I was like, this looks like Lego Dimensions. And that is kind of what it is. It kind of is that. But I liked that. Yeah, I was like, but I liked that. That was cool though. So
it's fun.
It is fun. It's fun.
Got Invincible, the Umbrella Academy. There's some violence in this game, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. It's not for kidding. Like it's not a second grade game like that for sure.
I'm here for this. I think I like this.
Yeah.
I was digging it.
I was digging it. And the last thing I'm playing is NCAA, man. That's it.
Did you get your save back?
I actually did. Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Yes. So they pushed a patch out. So
what happened was I came across a thread on Reddit where somebody was having the same issue as me, and they said, "Hey, go into your files, like where you store your settings and all that." And he said, "See if you have a cloud save and an irregular save, like 2 saves." And I went in there and I did. I had a cloud save at the top, and then I had my what said, Dynasty. He said, delete the cloud save. I deleted the cloud save and it just loaded up and kept working.
Nice.
That's great.
So I think it was some sort of corrupted save issue, like with the cloud. And then once I deleted that, it just started working again. So I'm back.
Excellent.
Yep. Playing my game every day. John 32, we're going to ask your question. We'll save your question to the questions.
Yeah.
At it.
John, stop jumping the gun, sir. Be patient.
Thank you for asking.
Well, enough of us rambling about games. Let's actually talk about the news, because it seems like there was a lot of it.
There is a lot. And with being such, let's kick it old school.
Hey, Donnie, what is in the news this week on PSVG?
Thank you, Gohan. Okay, so Black Myth Wukong has taken the internet by storm. As it launched, it became Steam's most played single-player game of all time.
Wow.
Woo!
That's incredible. That's amazing. Yeah. That is huge. First day right out of the gate. Now, this came out before the game came out, so this is somewhat old news, but it was the news. It was the story. Apparently, the review coverage for this game, the marketing team for Black Myth Wukong was sending out to influencers and stuff, telling them, let me read here, quote, to not use offensive language, humor, trigger words like quarantine, isolation, or COVID-19. Do not discuss China's video game industry policies, opinions, or news. And then the document told influencers to, quote, not include politics, violence, nudity, or feminist propaganda.
The fuck are they talking about?
Like, it's so weird.
A terrible way. But why would you talk about it? Telling everybody not to do this is gonna make them like, why would that even be on their mind?
I'm just curious. What the fuck does COVID-19 have to do with this game?
So I've been very confused. As somebody who's not been all that interested in this game, because it's very foreign to me, I just don't know anything about it, so I wasn't all that interested in it. I was very confused because I woke up, saw the news, was a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
I went online, started looking at it, found all kinds of stuff I did not want to find. I was, why is this game a culture war symbol? Like, what is happening right now? So in my head that morning,
mm-hmm.
I was thinking that this game, like when you play the game, It was like some toxic, like almost like some No More Heroes bullshit. Like, like,
Not at
fuck
all.
you, pansies. The fuck, I was like, is this what this game is? Only to find out, like, no, there's nothing like that in the game at all.
Nothing.
It's just the studio, I guess, the people that made the game, or at least alluding to the people that made the game, or
it's China's politics. It's all the stuff that they're dealing with in China. Like, they didn't just send that out to anybody in the West. That is all China related issues. But they sent that stuff to just anybody who was reviewing the game. So it just comes off very strange. It's probably very normal for China, but outside of China, it's like, what?
So our Discord informed me, because I was not informed, and I definitely never read the article, that apparently like a year ago, IGN wrote some piece about this developer at one of their preview events about all the stuff that the developers had done, which I did read the piece, and it wasn't great. A lot of crude behavior, whatnot. I've seen worse. I'm not defending it, but I've seen way worse. It just was kind of, I could understand in a different place where things are different, like how things like that could happen. But the stuff online, the stuff on Reddit, I shared some screenshots. I was like, whoa. This is weird. This is way off base. Because you would think that this game, based on how it's being used online, you would think this game had like some definitive statement on the world or something. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
Chinese, like an old tale journey.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a really old book. Basically an old story that they just turned into a video game. Yeah.
So that's the thing that
as a monkey.
I had a disconnection trying to come to grips with that, because you see these people and it's like, so this is your symbol, this is your champion. It says nothing. Like, this means nothing. That's a weird thing. I'll just leave it at that. That's a weird thing to do.
How, if one is streaming and playing this game, they're gonna be like, hey, let's talk about some COVID-19.
Right, exactly. That's where my head was. It'd be like as if I took this remote and was like, yeah, this remote stands up for gay rights. Like, what? This remote doesn't do anything like that.
It's a remote.
It's a remote. But anyway, they're laughing all the way to the bank, regardless of what you think of either devs or the people that wrote the article. I don't give a shit, really. On either side of this situation that you're on, they're laughing all over the bank as their game is selling like hotcakes and everybody loves it. So
the thing is, 90% of the people who are playing the game don't care about none of that, aren't paying attention to any of that. Like, it's so just ridiculous. It's so unimportant. Nobody's paying attention to any of that. We're too busy enjoying the damn video game.
Next news story. Dying Light the Beast. So we talked about this last week. I mentioned that, like, hey, Dying Light just made a new trademark. They just trademarked a new thing. I thought it'd be new DLC. Well, it kind of is. It's a standalone game. So they were working on DLC. It has become its own thing, and they are now spinning it off as its own game. And quote, to show appreciation to the community who patiently waited for the DLC, Techland will be offering Dying Light the Beast at no extra cost to all owners of Dying Light 2 Stay Human Ultimate Edition. That would be moi. Delivering a full standalone adventure instead of just a DLC. Haley tagged me in this, I guess, when it was announced. I'm not sure if you guys know. Gamescom happened this week. I didn't watch any of that stuff, so I felt very disconnected. I was like, oh, apparently there's game news happening. I don't know. I was working. So Haley tagged me in it, and I saw the tag, and I was like, yeah, I'm not reinstalling Dying Light 2 again. Like, I can't go back to that. And she's like, oh, but it's not that, though. It's its own thing. And I'm like, all right, now you have my attention. But it gets better. This new standalone adventure is set in a tightly crafted rural region. The game will center around Kyle Crane, the protagonist from the first game, Dying Light, and the following. And if you guys played that game, that is, well, one, he's like the voice of Dying Light. Like, everybody loves him. He's the man. He's much way better than Aiden. He kind of became like this Cole-like character because the game had multiple endings based on like how you chose to do things. So for like many years, people are like, is he alive? Is he dead? Did he make it? Did he not make it? I don't know. And when Dying Light 2 came out, Techland like kind of alluded to like, he made it, but we didn't really know where he was. In Dying Light 2, there are a couple minor references to Kyle. And you're like, oh, is that a thing? So this is going to be like the conclusion of that story. And that story is way more intriguing and I'm way more invested than I ever was in Dying Light 2's story. So this actually just shot up my like to-do list by a large margin. I was like, oh, this sounds great. This is kind of what I wanted Dying Light 2 to like be, is kind of what this standalone game is going to be. No date. I would presume that means next year. There was no date. They just said it's coming shortly soon. Maybe it's first half next year, if I had to guess, but very excited. It's cool. If you have the Ultimate Edition, if you ponied up and got the statue or got the digital, did all that shit like I did, well, you get paid off. You can get this too. So
nice.
Free game.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Also, not only am I very excited just for Crane, also very excited because they have, as they always have, right? They did the same thing with Dying Light. They've patched the shit out of Dying Light 2. I've seen all kinds of videos, because I do follow this kind of stuff on YouTube, of all these improvements they've done to the parkour, to the lighting, to the performance. I just wasn't interested enough in the story to go back. I was like, I'm not, I didn't hate Dying Light 2 by any means. It was just very like, meh. Like, okay, it was a video game. I'm kind of interested to see. I'm kind of interested to see, okay, take all of that you learned, give me a story that I care about, and now let me re-experience that. Like, that might be the shit. That might be my thing. So
nice.
Kong Survivor Instinct was announced, coming out later this fall. It's set shortly after the recent Godzilla vs. Kong movie is. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox. It's a lower budget game, so this isn't, don't get too excited. But you play the father who's searching for his missing daughter. And it showed like a lot of like platforming, like puzzle sections, kind of side scroller type stuff. But while you're doing that in like this destroyed world, the Titans are fighting like all around you. You have to dodge everything that's happening. It's like very kind of chaotic. I was intrigued, realizing that it's a cheaper game. It's a more like a budget friendly game, I imagine. I still think it looked pretty good. Like, I want to play that.
Looks
way
a hell of a lot better.
Exactly. Hell of a lot better than that game mill shit that they put out some time ago.
No.
So I wanted to give that one a shout out. I thought it was pretty cool. I want to check that one out. This one's for you, Delvin. Atari has announced a new mini console, the 7800 Plus. It is $130. It went on pre-order today, and it releases November 29th. This is a scaled down but faithful recreation of the console that released in 1986. It is backwards compatible with hundreds of original Atari 2600 and 7800 games. It has an HDMI output, USB power, and comes with a wireless gamepad that they've dubbed the CX78 Plus. It's packaged with a copy of Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, a brand new cartridge sequel to Crystal Castles. Do you know what any of that means?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Are you going to get one?
No.
No?
Yes, you are. Stop playing.
No, because I never played the I never played the 7800. The 2600 was the console that I was into.
Is
Let me ask you,
compatible with those cartridges too?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what my problem with it is? They should have made it backwards compatible with the cartridges and installed games already in it.
Yeah. I thought I was honestly shocked when I was reading the news that it didn't come with like 20 games on it.
Yeah, like just install like 20 popular Atari games on it. Don't have me going out and buying all these goddamn cartridges as well. Because then I can just go buy an Atari.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Tell me a story, Grandpa. How did you keep up with? What's the difference between the 2600, the 7800, the 78 Plus? Like, how did you keep up with, like, just reading it sounds confusing as fuck. Like, what made something the 7800 versus the 5200 versus the, what does that mean?
I didn't. I was poor. And what happened was, when I was a kid, my granddad had the Atari 5200, which is that's the oldest one. If I remember correctly, he had that.
Oh, so they didn't go up? I figured the 2600 would be the oldest, and then they just kept going up.
No,
that's even all kinds of fun.
They made random ass numbers.
Oh no!
So
Johnson, this is your hero. This is your champion. Player One podcast. This shit.
Yes. So what happened was, for Christmas, my dad bought me the Atari 2600. And that's the one I really got into as a kid. That's what I have now.
Got you.
That I wouldn't bought. And then, the 7800 came out, if I remember correctly, around the time when the NES was popular. And nobody wasn't playing that shit. They were like, nah, we're not doing it. Atari's over with. We're like, we're in the NES and stuff like that. That's kind of with the downfall of Atari.
Yeah. Let me ask you this one more. And this may be actually just back up your point. With them having just released like the ultimate Atari collection that you can buy for $20, why would you buy this?
Let's go to the shelf.
Yeah.
Just nostalgia purposes.
It's like a collector's nostalgia thing. If you still have the carts, now you've got something new and modern that you can.
So if you still have the carts, I do agree with you. Like $130 to play those things is probably a really good deal.
And that's probably controller and everything.
Yeah, that's probably really nice. That controller's wireless too, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's not wired. Cool. That's pretty cool.
And I will say this. There are plenty of Atari games you can buy on eBay, because that's what I was doing. I was buying some Atari games for like $2-3 that you can't play anywhere else, and just having fun playing them. Like there's a He-Man Atari game that I was playing. There's the old Popeye game there's a bunch of Atari games that I would just like to have fun playing.
Had I never played the Atari collection, that would be appealing. But having actually turned on some of those games and seen what they look like, that's not appealing.
Yeah, they're not pretty games.
Blips and bloops, man. That stuff was terrible.
Blips and bloops indeed.
Unless you're playing Ninja Golf. There is one redeeming game in that whole collection, man. A Ninja Golf is fucking wild.
Oh, man. Yeah, their naming convention was always based off just like the model number. So that's why the numbers make no sense.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
bad.
just like the manufactured model number.
Next time somebody goes off, next time I come across another thread telling me how terrible Xbox is at names, I'm gonna pull a timeline from like Atari.
Yeah,
like, it could be worse.
Here's the Atari. Yeah.
They should come out with the Xbox 9000 next. Like, what the fuck? Speaking of Xbox, actually, segue. Let's get into it. Oh my god, this fucking disaster. Let's read Game Pass. Let's start with the good. Atlas Fallen is out on Game Pass now. I don't even remember what that
Game Pass
game is.
game.
Yeah. Core Keeper comes out on the 27th. Call of Duty Black Ops Early Access Beta arrives on the 30th. You can play Star Trucker on the 3rd. Atomic Heart, Guilty Gear, and NBA 2K24 are leaving Game Pass. So if you want to play those, you better start playing them soon. They're about to leave. So at Gamescom, Jeff Keighley's show, Xbox show, a bunch of stuff was announced. Starfield's first big expansion, Shattered Space, arrives on PC and consoles on September 30th. At Jeff Keighley's show, they had a trailer for their new Rev 8 Cruiser. It's a little cart you can drive around, and they showed it like jumping canyons and shit. Actually, looked pretty cool. That's out today. You can play it right away. As a part of that update, if you have a Series S, like I do, you also just got a 40 and 60 FPS patch and an unlocked VRR frame rate and more visual settings for the Series S. Those already came to the Series X. Now you have those on the Series F if you want to play Starfield on Series S. So Jack was pretty excited to jump back into that. Towerborn is a game that I've been looking forward to. It's kind of like a Zelda meets Castle Crashers type concept. It's very cartoony. It looks really fun. It looks chaotic. I kind of expected that game to be announced coming out this fall. It wasn't. But here's what they did announce. Remind you, this is an Xbox published game that's coming to Game Pass. This is like a first-party game. Towerborn is coming to Steam Early Access, not Xbox's PC launcher. Steam Early Access on September 10th.
Yep.
It's coming to consoles and Game Pass when? Next year.
Yeah.
Next year. I want to remind you that Xbox in both the PC launcher and the console has a fucking beta preview program. They have early access. It's a thing that they've done.
No,
Grounded was in early access for like 2 years.
No, doesn't exist.
And that killed the program, apparently.
What the fuck, man? Like, how do you even... how do you not even put it on your own goddamn PC store?
They're just trying to prepare you people.
Not you people. Hang on.
For
the
exodus of
Xbox.
Yeah.
I already made the exit. Not you people.
Well, no. I just mean you people as in Xbox. All of you.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not even the worst of it.
Not even close.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about Towerborn. It's just like me. So there was a rumor that came out a few days ahead of this. Nate the Hate said that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was coming to PC and Xbox December. We talked about this last week. There's been rumors for 2 weeks that some Xbox first-party game was coming to PlayStation. And we went through like the whole thing. Because in the absence of information, you just get speculation. And everybody speculated everything. It was going to be Hellblade. It was going to be Forza. And people even said it's probably Indiana Jones. And here it is. It is Indiana Jones, confirmed on stage at Jeff Keighley's show. The game will arrive on PC and Game Pass on consoles on December 9th. Will arrive on PlayStation 5 sometime in the spring, to which Tom Warren and The Verge says you can expect that to be in April. I don't know. Maybe he's right or wrong. He's typically right. So spring, looks like it means April. So this is yet another first-party game coming from Xbox Studios to PlayStation.
You can get it early access on Xbox.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's early access on Xbox, and the full game releases on PlayStation.
Where they're getting tens and
Maker brings up a good point. He goes, I wonder if they just didn't list that's coming to Microsoft Store. Maybe it is. I've looked it up several times since then. Everybody keeps saying that it's just coming to Steam. So maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, that's the news that we have it today. And that news is several days old. So I think if that was a correction, it would have been corrected.
Yeah, the website, towerborn.com, it just says playing Steam early access.
I don't think
it doesn't say.
I don't think
anything.
they would have messed that up at their own. I think.
Yeah.
Nope.
Doesn't say anything about console.
Okay, so back to Indiana Jones. This has caused a firestorm, I think, online, on socials. Not that it's super important, but on socials, it's got everybody talking about Xbox, including myself. I've been taking on comers on threads. I've been trying to stay out of it on Discord, to be honest with you, because I actually know how Josh feels. Josh hates this shit when people get all like this, and I've been trying to keep it out of it. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to pile on over there.
Nah.
I got a lot of things to say, but let me read what's happened out since this. All right, so lots of reactions, commentary, lots of Xbox doom and gloom, prognostication going on. Phil Spencer interviewed today, was asked about it. Here's what he said. We said we were going to learn. Remember the little update they did? It's out on the couch. We're bringing 4 games, and what did he say? We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna learn. So here's what he's learned, guys. He said, what we see when I look at our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been. Boy, do I love that spin. What a hell of that's a great way to spin it. Of course they are, because here's what they're doing. They're counting anybody that's logged into a 360, an Xbox One, and a Series console. They're counting them all as console players. They're like, we've got more console players than we've ever had. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. But shouldn't you be trying to encourage them to buy new stuff so you make more money? Is that a thing? Are they buying stuff on 360 or are they just playing stuff they've already bought on 360? Right? Like, is that a thing? You just turned off the 360 store. Like, should you be counting those folks? But also, we're almost 5 years into a console generation. Of course you're at all time, like the most you've ever sold, because guess what? You've sold everybody that wanted to buy an Xbox based on what they thought in 2020 and 2021. You're not going to see the ramifications for any of these decisions until the next inflection point when people have to sit back and reevaluate which console they want to buy. And if you keep putting fucking games everywhere, guess which one they're probably not going to pick? Yours.
Everybody's buying that Xbox. Get
What
that
just
PC, that Switch, and that PlayStation.
What a crazy way to try and spin this. Anyway, this is also a huge difference in rhetoric from him. We run a business. It's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us, Xbox, in terms of the delivery we have to give back to the company because we get a lot of support from the company. So not we're doing it for the players. We're going to make all the things. We're going to do all the things. No, we're here to make money. We're here to make money to drive profits back up the chain. I don't think I've ever heard him or anybody at Xbox ever speak that way, to be honest with you. It's like this is the first, maybe. Especially so blunt about it. And then the last thing he said, the industry is changing. I think us as fans as players of games, we have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways games are built and distributed, and that's going to change.
Is it? Is it?
So
For them?
I saw
For
somebody for them. So I've been saying, look, I'm not going to turn this into a I told you so.
But I told you so.
I did.
I mean, yeah.
I saw this writing on the wall a year ago. I said, like, what are they going to? They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to publish more games. They're going to put more things out there. Like, and here's the thing, and I want to be clear about it because I've been on threads, I've been posting about it, trying to do it civilly. Here's what I don't like. Here's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of every time somebody makes a valid comment about any console. Honestly, omit Xbox. Anytime somebody goes, hey, I don't like this business decision this company made, I'm tired of gamers online dismissing them and throwing them in as like tribal console warriors. Not everything is a console war. I don't give a fuck if Xbox never sells more consoles than PlayStation. I don't give a shit. I haven't given a shit in some time now. I play all my stuff on PC, right? The thing that I have always said, the thing that bothers me with this business strategy that Xbox is seemingly doing is that I realize that there are ramifications to this practice, right? I see so many people online. They're like, why do you care? More gamers is better. It's such like a white knight, like bullshit kind of thing to hide behind. It's like, I just love everybody playing games. That's great. You are omitting the fact that this is bad for the console. And that's a problem, not because you're a console warrior, not because you want more exclusive that people can't play. It's bad, specifically for me, talking for myself, it's bad for somebody that loves Game Pass. Game Pass is directly tied to the console. It's the only place that you really can buy Game Pass unless you have a PC. And not everybody is. And not everybody is going to get Game Pass on PC. So if people move away from the console and you're not directly moving them into PC, that hurts Game Pass. It immediately hurts Game Pass. You have less people on Game Pass. Guess what? That's less revenue for Game Pass. Guess what that means? Maybe less games for Game Pass. Maybe less support for Game Pass. Maybe more price hikes for Game Pass. Maybe less day one releases on Game Pass. If you think that's crazy, look at all the changes they just made to Game Pass. They just introduced all these tiers. They just did all those things, right? So as somebody who loves Game Pass, it's not that I care that they're putting Indiana Jones on PlayStation, because I don't. I'm not all that interested in Indiana Jones anyway. What I care about is, tell me how you're going to stop this from hurting Game Pass. What's the plan? What's the future? Is this the plan? Like, I want them to, I think it's on them to give customers solid expectations. I don't think that's asking for too much.
So you want them to tell the public that, hey, you fuckers aren't buying enough Xboxes and game on Xboxes, so we got to put the shit elsewhere to make some money. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to.
That is what it boils down to. What it
all
is
of you who are playing on Xbox, keep playing on Xbox. But in order to keep this Xbox train going, we got to put these games elsewhere because there's just not enough of you.
Yeah, but then that eats the other side. Again, you're pulling on one side of the balloon. I mean, that is why they're doing it. Why they're doing this, the money they could make elsewhere is more than the money they can keep. So that's why they're doing it. They're going to chase the money elsewhere. But that will have ramifications.
If you have Game Pass and you have it on Xbox, play it there. Play the games there. Like, they're still there.
It's going to have ramifications down the line. It's not a tomorrow thing. You're not going to figure that out today. I love he's like, we learned and nobody got rid of their Xbox. It's like, yeah, because you put Hi-Fi Rush on there. Yeah, keep doing it. It's a pattern.
You got rid of Hi-Fi
It's a
Rush.
pattern. Like, if you're buying an Xbox right now, what is your expectation? Can you expect all these games to be exclusive? Can you expect them to be there? Or can you expect they'll be on PlayStation, where you can not only buy those games, buy all the other games? And here's the thing. It's not even about exclusives. As we've documented several other times, Xbox is last. They just got Genshin Impact. The shit that came out like 5 years ago. They don't have Black Myth Wukong, the most viral game right now. Like, right? It does matter. And I hate keep pointed at as like a fanboy or console wars and being dismissed. It's like, guys, there are actual consequences to this. You can't just be like, everybody should be able to play everything they want, and that's the stance I'm going to have. Like, That's a cool thing to say. Cool, nice bumper sticker, but that's not business. That's not how this works.
Yeah,
I agree.
They need to also fix them getting everything later. Like Black Myth isn't on Xbox because they're still working on making the game work for Xbox. What was it? Baldur's Gate 3 had the same problem. Like, what the hell is happening with just development of third-party games for Xbox? Like, what's the hurdle? Is it the Series S? Can we just say, okay, put it on Series X and then have the S version come later? Like, what's the hurdle? What's the problem that we're having getting these third-party games there? Like, what's happening here?
Well, I'll tell you this. Guess what's not going to help that problem? If you continue to sell less and less of those hardwares, they're not going to keep making for them. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's not going to be a part of the solution. I can guarantee you that's not going to be a part of the solution. And so we got Maker. He says, I think a lot of gamers legit just buy the next thing. I agree with you. Like, here's the thing. I'm not doom and glooming. I've been clear on this. I've said it on this show for a year. I've said it on Threads. I'm not doom and glooming Xbox. I don't give a shit about the console war. I think there's still a space for Xbox to sell hardware. The thing that I bring up all the time is nobody counts how many fucking PCs are sold every year. That's a very console thing. Like, this isn't a thing. And I think that's what Xbox wants to get to. I think Xbox wants to be treated as an option. It's an option that's out there. They're not trying to be the leader or anything. It's an option. And they can achieve that by having the right price and the right types. If they can have a handheld, if they can have a cheap entry, if they can have at different places, they don't have to sell the most to be effective, right? But they have to clean the rest of this up. They can't not sell the most and not deliver the games and put the exclusives everywhere else and not get all the third-party games and expect to be successul. That's not a recipe for success. You know?
I mean, they're treating it like they're a software company. That's really what it boils down to. And
I don't know if Sean's talking to me here, but Sean says just sell your Xbox. I love my Xbox. I've been talking
Sean
about it for weeks.
He always goes that way. Just sell it.
I've been talking about it for weeks. I just bought a screen for it. That's the thing. I've been getting that from a few people on Threads. If anybody wants to go check out my profile, you'll see it. Where people are like, "Yeah, why do you say this?" Because I do care. I'm not one of those people who's like, "Oh, I don't care." I do care. I like my Xbox. I want it to be great. You know, like I want it to be good. I really do,
because I love you and I want you to do better.
Yeah, like I want it to be great. I want it to I'm not saying win the console role. I don't care about that. I want it to be a healthy, flourishing place for people to buy games and stuff. Here's another thing. You can sell your games somewhere else and you can sell them at $70 a piece. You're cutting 30% of that to Nintendo and PlayStation. Guess what? Every time somebody moves off and goes somewhere else, guess what you're losing? Your 30% cut of anything else that's sold in your storefront. Yep. You know, like that's real revenue. That matters. I feel like everybody's just like, it doesn't matter. Like I saw somebody earlier was like, what does it matter? We're not going to even have consoles in a few years anyway. It's like, that is a hell of a take. That's a wild
since like 2005. This is the last console generation.
It's like, what a mentality. It's like, yeah, so I guess they shouldn't even try. Like, it's okay. Because, and I think Jez Corden released an article today I don't always agree with. I've often brought up his stuff to different, but he actually made a really salient point. Right now, today, it does feel like the Xbox console player is like on the bottom rung of their priority to-do list. It feels like the PC player is treated better. Other players are treated better. Like it really does. It's like, yeah, we'll put the game there whenever we can. It'll be there and you'll be there. And that sucks. And there's a lot of people I think are waking up to, I think, the new reality, the reality that I've been suggesting is coming for some time, that yeah, this is the new Xbox. I think what they're trying to do is have their cake and eat it too. They want to keep their Game Pass. They want to keep their hardware, even their limited hardware. They're just slowly like bleeding it. They're like, yeah, we're not going to like cut the cord and turn off this money. We're just going to try to make money elsewhere.
So my question is if you're somebody who plays on Xbox, you still have all these games coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is like,
I'll be playing Call of Duty there. I'll be playing Fable there. I'll be playing Gears. I'm not.
You still have
I'm not
all
going
these
anywhere.
games coming.
Yep.
So it's like if you're still want to be, on Xbox, like there's no reason for you to leave. Keep playing Xbox. Keep supporting Xbox in the best way you can, and hopefully you start getting better messaging around what they're really trying to do. But the thing is, if you love Game Pass, it's still there. You're still going to get all the day one games for right now until something drastic changes. Who knows? But in the meantime, like your Xbox experience isn't going to truly change. They just need to figure out their messaging and get it right and let us know.
This
let
is a message,
Xbox
it's their
gamers know what they're
strategy.
doing. When I say message, I mean their actual strategy. Like,
what did I say when they started doing this? This half in, half out shit's what this does. What they're doing now, this alienates everyone. They make no friends doing this. This is, in my opinion, this is the worst possible solution. Like, because what you're doing, you're pissing everyone off. Like, at least find somebody to like you. You're just like making everybody angry, and I don't think that's good for them.
They're making PlayStation angry. Come on.
Well, I think eventually the people will be like, why don't you just put more things over here? You know? And we are looking at new consoles. We have PlayStation 5 Pro. Xbox is talking about a new gen. They got a new handheld. We think there's another PlayStation coming. In what world? There's a new Switch coming. In what world would anybody like recommend to a new player to pick up an Xbox? Like, you'd have to love Gears. Like, absolutely love it.
Hey, Coach Mo is going to buy a new Xbox for sure.
Yeah, it's just, it's got to be,
the new
even
Xbox.
if you love it, like I do, even if you love it, it's got to be at the bottom of the recommendation. It just has to be. They're not doing enough for it not to be. I think so. I think so.
Like, I don't think it's at the bottom, because if Xbox is the franchises that you want to play, and that's really all you're looking for, then why would it be at the bottom? That's the thing. You got to remember, most people do not want the hassle of PC. This is the average gamer, not us.
Yeah.
The average gamer. They're not trying to deal with the PC, and they're like, I like Gears.
Play them on Steam
Halo,
Deck. Hey,
Call of Duty is here.
Sooner or later, you be able to play this shit on PlayStation. Just give it time.
Stuff on PlayStation.
Give it time.
But if you're an Xbox gamer, you don't want to go to PlayStation, because again, like Maker said, a lot of times people just buy the next thing. Like,
you didn't even take the high road.
Gamer.
Like, there's a real easy path to be like, hey, Indiana Jones is a property we don't own, and we're in partnership with Disney, and we want to make. They didn't even say that. He doubled down on it. He's like, yeah, we're going to do more of this. He's saying it literally as much as he can. It's going to keep happening. The same thing I told you when Hi-Fi Rush happened, and everybody was like, this is no big deal. It's a nothing burger. And I said, it's a huge deal, and it continues to be a huge deal. And I think it'll continue. It's just going to keep happening. And yeah, I'm with you, Dev. I love your, it's okay, keep doing your thing. But you and I both know, brass tacks, man, reality is reality. We can all say we don't care. I don't. And I've had 10 people today be like, I don't care if people can play these games. And neither do I. But we all know that people do. The customer base does. The people that buy consoles, the market, whoever they are, they do care. It shows in the data. When boxes have good exclusives, guess what? More boxes get sold. Like, that's a thing. That's proven. That's a thing. So, if you're somebody that cares about Game Pass, if you're somebody that cares about the ecosystem, you want to see it continue, you want to see it thrive, I think it's worth pointing out that these decisions have ramifications for those. Those are real things. And it's not a console war thing.
Yeah, well, they're going to continue to be in third place no matter what they do. It's just the reality.
Yeah, I agree with you there, 100%.
That's the reality.
And I think the next time people have to make decisions, I think for most people, that decision's probably not going to be an Xbox. Like, I am sitting here thinking, like, I will. I
mean, everybody I know that plays Xbox is like,
well, hang on, Dev. Hang on, Dev. It already is most.
Yeah.
How can you say it's not most? It already is most. It'll be even more most next time.
I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily agree. All
it already is.
Who are Xbox gamers are like,
there's 60 million PlayStation 5s in the wild. There's 150 million Switches. There's 30 million Xbox. It already is most, and that number will decrease because of these decisions.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna stay the same.
I don't think so. Because look. Why is this trending? If they were going to stay the same, why is this even a thing? Why would there be articles written about it? Why would anybody be talking about it? It was just going to be the same.
People like to talk.
I think people don't want to admit to it, but people like exclusives. They like to say, I have this game. This is my team. They like that whole dynamic of things. And
I don't think it's a team thing. I think it's a justification for choosing one thing over another. That's your benefit. You picked that one because you can get X, Y, and Z. There's nothing wrong with that.
Justification is Game Pass. Like, it's still the best.
I'm with you. Gaming. I'm with you. I love Game Pass. I'm with you. That's
Game
the-
Pass, you get to
that's
play
the
Indiana Jones
reason-
way before everyone.
The reason why I don't necessarily like this plan of action is because I think ultimately it hurts Game Pass. That's my only crux.
It 100% helps hurt the Game Pass.
Yeah, this hurts Game Pass. Less people buying consoles, it hurts Game Pass.
Unless
You
they
don't
can
even
get
have
Game Pass everywhere
Here's
else.
the thing. You don't even have everybody with a console on Game Pass. And now you want to sell less consoles. Like, that's not a good thing. And I'm not going to listen to people be like, it doesn't matter. It does matter. We got to stop being like, oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter. They don't have to do that. It does matter. Now, let me put a caveat on it. It matters in their current model. They want to change the model. Won't matter as much. I kind of want them to do that. What have I said? Put all the games everywhere. Like, go third party. Do that. Fucking do that. Make a cheap console. Make a handheld. Make a streaming stick. Make a lot of hardware. Right? Be ubiquitous. I love it. I'm all for it. But do that. That's not what they're doing. They're not doing that. They're like, we're going to do both. We're going to pick and choose. You're not going to know which one or when it's coming. Even, I'm not sure if you guys saw they're beta testing their new Game Pass tier, the one that doesn't get day one games. Did you guys see that? They went into beta test. Guess what they said?
May come in a year, maybe.
Games may come in a year, may not. Like, they literally just don't want to tell you anything. They're like, we'll do what we want when we want to, I guess. Like, there's zero expectation. Like, you can't depend. There's no dependability. Maybe is a better word. You can't depend on anything. Tomorrow, it all might fucking change. Like, what I have no idea what Xbox will be like 3 years from now. Who does? Does anybody? Nobody has any idea what the fuck they're gonna do in 24 months.
It's so wild how the narrative has changed in what little over a year now. For what we thought Xbox was gonna be to what they are now. It's just it's fascinating to me. It's like how we went from everybody was so afraid of this Activision merger to the point we were like, oh
yeah.
They were like whole conversation and articles about what it means to Xbox to have Call of Duty and why this shouldn't be a thing. And now it's like, no, Xbox might.
They didn't even try.
Yeah, they didn't even try.
They bought Bethesda, they bought Activision, and what did Phil say on the Bethesda? This is about delivering exclusive content to bolster Game Pass. They didn't even try. They put Starfield in, it didn't work. They changed the whole fucking company. Literally, that's what happened. That's literally what happened. They bet it all on one horse. And they're like, well, I guess we'll just fucking not do that anymore. And I just rip the Band-Aid off. I've been saying it all year. That's the thing. I woke up yesterday and that's all I saw on threads all day. People are like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Like, I've been saying this for a year now. Like, I'm actually somewhat taken back that it took Indiana Jones to get people there. Because, like, I don't care about Indiana Jones. And if you were going to make one go third party, of course it would be Indiana Jones. It's a Disney game. Guess what?
Yeah.
Blade will be the same way. like those would be the games that you would do those with. Just like MLB The Show is a licensed game. Of course, that's going to be the game that goes over. That makes sense, right?
Yep.
But for whatever reason, this game really struck a chord with people, and now people have woke up to this. They're like, "Oh, this is not
It
going to
struck
stop."
a chord because it's the only IP they have that's new that wasn't anywhere else that might actually do numbers, and now it's everywhere else, so it doesn't matter.
I hate it, and I don't hate it because I hate what they're doing, which I do. I hate it because I really loved what they were doing, but like before the changes, like I saw it, I saw the vision, and I think that vision would have worked. They just didn't have the commitment to it. They weren't going to waste all that money, because I think it would have taken several years to climb out of the hole they put themselves in. And I think it's clear that they're not going to do that. That's not on the cards. The higher ups are like, yeah, absolutely not. We're not doing that.
We're a software company. Let's put this software everywhere we can.
Then just be that. Then
reality.
put Gears E-Day everywhere. Then just do that.
Hey,
Because here's the thing. What did I tell you?
Needs to get on board with Microsoft. Microsoft is probably telling them that. Say, hey,
Minecraft,
put everywhere.
Minecraft, Call of Duty, right? These are the biggest franchises in the world. Xbox has other franchises like that if you open it up to other players. Like when I say Halo should be a gaming event. After I watched that documentary and I saw all the fanfare for Halo 3 and everybody was like, why isn't Halo like that anymore? Because it's locked, right? Open it up. Let everybody play. If you're going to do this, if you're going to be Mr. Phil Spencer, you're going to sit there. What did he say today? I didn't write it down. He had some line like, we should care about making games the best, which What a line after it delayed everything, the way Starfield launched, the way what a crazy thing to say that nobody corrects him. He's like, we want to make the best games. It's like, do you? But that aside, he's like, and we want to reach the most players. Then go reach the most players. Like Gears and Halo can be that. They can reach 25, 35 million players. Like they're so much bigger than they could be if you weren't treating them like this. Right? But they're not. See, they talk out of both sides of their mouth. That's the BS that I can't let go. Like that's what gives me strife. That's what makes me angry. You know, it's like I see it. I see right through it. It's like, dude, you can't say both of those things unchecked. But you can when IGN's asking the questions, I guess. Like nobody fucking follows up and actually asks them anything else. You know, I just don't get it. That's the thing that I just don't get. And I really like Phil Spencer, as I see Yard and say I'm tired of Phil Spencer. I really do like Phil Spencer. But this is my thing that I like the least about him is that, you know, and I honestly, and I do blame a lot on the interviewer. They're the one letting him off the hook. You know, Ryan didn't follow up his question when they closed Tango. He just let Phil Spencer say his little thing and then moved on. That's not Phil Spencer. He's doing what he gets paid to do. It's on you, the journalist, to try a little harder than that. And I would have loved to have somebody be like, yeah, tell us what the plan is, Phil. Like you understand, obviously you understand why people are questioning it, right? That's pretty clear. Like, I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
They probably wouldn't have got anything out of it anyway.
Yeah, he's like, we want to reach the most players. if I was interviewing, he's like, we want to reach the most players. I'd be like, then why aren't you shipping day one on? Why are you waiting until April?
That's
I mean, if you're to be about it, be about it. If you're gonna sit there and be like, then do it. Then fucking do it.
That's never gonna happen.
Let's just bring it on the podcast.
That's the part I don't understand. Am I out of line?
No.
Yeah.
Am I off base? Like, am I out in the moon here somewhere? Because I'm on threads, and there's some people that are big mad about the shit that I'm saying. I'm like, guys, I love Xbox. I got his fucking signature on the wall. Like, it's right here, man. Like, I say it because I care, and I'm almost like taken back that other Xbox fans are so dismissive of it. Like, they act like it's no big deal at all. Like, it's no deal. They're upset that other people are even asking questions. They're like, I don't even understand why you're concerned. And it's like,
I just don't think that
pretty
they
fucking
are as
evident,
close
man,
or care as much or as passionate about it as you are, because they just play video games. They probably
no.
Business side of
the
it.
people I'm talking about do care. They have podcasts about it. They talk about it. They're talking about it. They're the ones going, I think it's great for everybody to play more games. I don't see what the fuck they care. They care enough to tweet about it. If you care enough to tweet about it, then you care.
It just sounds like clicks.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's everything. I'm sorry. I'll get off my soapbox now. Anybody else got anything they want to say about?
No, that just made me laugh. You just dismissed everything. Like, it's just for attention.
It's just attention. It's personally because I'm just so fed
Sean,
up
you get
with
what
the
I'm saying,
internet.
right?
I hear what you're saying. I'm just fed up with the internet.
It's almost like
That's
I
my
feel.
thing.
It's almost like I feel like I'm being gaslit or lied to. It's like, y'all see this shit, right? like you see it? It's right here in front of us, right? I'm not the only one that sees it. It blows my mind,
I think
man.
This is a better conversation for you to have with Sean, because he also cares the way you care. I really could care less if Xbox disappeared. So for me, it's like whatever.
God damn.
Like, it just doesn't matter to me, because if Xbox goes away, they still own all these games. They're just gonna make games. So it doesn't matter. Like,
thank
for
you,
me,
Sean. This is how I
personally.
feel. This is how I feel on the internet when I bring up. I'm like, hey guys, this is a problem because Game Pass is tied to the hardware, and people are like, it doesn't matter. I got accused of being an armchair CEO. I'm like, because I want Game Pass to be good. Like, you realize that Game Pass is tied to the hardware, right? There doesn't exist another way to interact with Game Pass right now, but that is it's the whole business. And you're like, yeah, we can
PC,
sell less
baby.
of them. No problem.
PC,
Yeah, but
baby.
you say PC, but when I say PC, you go, nobody wants to do that.
Yeah,
you can't
for me,
do both.
Because I'm talking about personally myself.
I know,
but I
and I'm not
realize
talking about you. I'm talking about
the
everyone.
regular.
They're never
going
gonna do that, man.
PC. Yeah, Game Pass can go away.
Like,
Also,
get Game Pass on Steam Deck. Like, do something. Like,
goddamn right. Now we're talking.
I'm with you. Yeah,
you bring in Steam Deck, and Delvin pipes up. He's like, "Give me my terrible little handheld. Let's go."
Goddamn right, baby.
12 frames per second. Let's do it.
And I
do it.
want to have hope. I do. I want them to have an ally like handheld. I've talked about how exciting it would be if they could create a console like OS, but bring PC gaming in a console type box to the television. Like, get off of this closed system stuff. Let that fucker run Steam. Sell somebody a PC with Windows on it that's like Xbox, and let them install Spider-Man and The Last of Us on it and play that shit on their television. I think that's
like
awesome. It'd be super cool. I want them to do that.
The properties.
What I want them to do is tell us that that's what they're doing. Because right now, if they're going to make another PlayStation 6 clone, they're going to get fucking hammered. This ain't working, man. This is terrible. Stop doing this. I don't know, man. I want to have hope that over there somebody knows what they're doing, but it kind of seems like right now they don't. They're like, we're just going to do whatever. We're going to chase short-term gains.
We're going to go ahead and run the Xbox into the ground so we can just sell these games on the system that sells games.
Dude, I'm not even going to lie to you. Not even going to lie to you. You want to hear how deep my brain is? I'm like, what if this is by design?
Mm-hmm.
What if Game Pass doesn't work so much financially? They're like, yeah, we'll just tank the console. Then we won't have that many Game Pass subscribers. We'll just shut it off. And then we'll just sell our games.
Wouldn't shock me.
Right? Like, how fucking crazy cynical is that? But you look at what they're doing and you're like, is this the plan?
We thought they bought, Activision and all of that for Xbox. No, they bought it so they could get rid of Game Pass, tank that, and just be a games publisher.
Anyway. Yeah, they want to be the leader. It's like, you are the world's biggest publisher of video games right now. Yes. If you just lean into it, you could be huge, massive, huge victory. We talked. I know I'm reiterating things we've already said. Maybe listeners don't listen every week. Imagine an Xbox that isn't doing exclusives and literally puts their games everywhere. How different are those games being received?
Way different.
What is Hellblade like if it literally is everywhere day one and everybody can play it?
Hellblade is a PlayStation-ass game. That's where it really belongs, to be perfectly honest.
We said this during then. If that game was day one everywhere and everybody could play it on whatever they wanted to play it, whatever controller they wanted to play it, is the reaction, is the story of that game different?
Oh, yeah.
I 100% believe that it is.
It's a game of the year contender, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Without question,
Everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's just the reality.
So it's like, just go do it.
Maybe that is a thing. Maybe, like you said, maybe they're just trying to tank it because the Xbox brand is so tainted in that way. Like when games, like I guarantee you, Indiana Jones is going to get a higher score on PlayStation than it will on Xbox. It just will. If Halo and Gears ever come to PlayStation, they'll probably be better reviewed or better received. It's insane. It's insane.
Yep.
Okay. I played my Series S today and I loved it. And I love all my controllers. And I have Game Pass for years. I just hope that Game Pass is there as long as I'm invested into it. That's where I am right now.
What is it?
I think I'm more invested. I think I have more Game Pass than Microsoft does right now. And that's what concerns me. That's what I'm fucking worried about, man.
Where's all my games going to go on my Game Pass? It's worth pennies on the dollar now.
They're just going to send me like a refund one day. They're going to be like, here's $700.
I was just going to say that. They're going to send you a stimulus check.
They're going to pull a Stadia. We're going to refund you all of your stuff. Because we have given up.
Yarn says, Sadia has got to be putting the pressure on. Make money now. We're going to do it completely my way. I don't even think it's him. I think it's Tim Stewart. Just go Google those names. Listen to everything Tim Stewart has said about Xbox for the last 7 years. That's what he wants to do. He wanted to do it before Bethesda, before Activision. He's like, why aren't we putting Halo on PlayStation? That's been his thing. He's like, why aren't we putting our games everywhere? I think it's him. I think that's where maybe a lot of this is coming from him.
That damn Tim.
So I'm actually behind
Tim's
him.
right.
I'm with Tim. Yeah, I'm with him.
Tim,
do it.
Right.
Fucking do it. Go be huge. But go do it. Right? And when you say that, people
in the world,
people get mad when you say that because they're like, they don't need hardware. You can still hardware. You can have hardware. You can have it as an option. You can have option. But what you got to do is you've got to adapt PC. You can't make developers work extra for it. It's got to just be there. Right? and it's got to come at different price points. You have something cheap, cheaper than the rest of the market. Look at what what Series has done. Nobody's buying fucking X's. The Series S is keeping this generation alive for them. That's the console that's moving. That's the one that's selling. That's the one people are buying. Look at the numbers. Whenever we get numbers, like some Intel folks, the Series S is outselling the X like 4-1 because it's cheaper. I'm like, yeah, that's an avenue for you, Xbox. Be cheaper.
It's a companion console.
Be cheaper. Be different. Be a handheld. Exactly. Be different. Quit doing the same thing. Quit beating your head against the wall.
You're not going to beat PlayStation at their game. It's just not going to happen. And you're definitely not coming for Nintendo's crown.
You're just be
not.
a PC.
You have to be like Nintendo and play a different game altogether.
Let me tell you this. Be like Xbox. Like 1999 Xbox. Bring the PC to the living room.
Yeah.
Fulfill your destiny. Do what you set out to do. Now's the time. Do it now. Do it before Steam does. Because they'll put you right out of business.
My home.
But partner with Steam.
All right. That's it. No more. Don't Nod's Lost Records Bloom and Rage will arrive in 2 episodes. Episode 1 will arrive on the 18th of February in 2025, with the second episode a month later on the 18th of March. Life is Strange is Deck 9, right? Square Enix and Deck 9. They split. Don't Nod doesn't make Life is Strange anymore. So this is Don't Nod's quote unquote Life is Strange game. It's a new franchise called Lost Records. I'm really into this. So this has a split timeline. This is not uncommon to Life is Strange. The new Life is Strange has like an alternate timeline. But in the new Life is Strange game, you use the alternate timeline to have like different conversations with people, but like you like unlock doors and open windows so you can complete puzzles. In this game, in Lost Records, you go back and forth from your childhood in the 90s to modern day, and then you live with the ramifications of your decisions as a kid, as an adult. And I don't know about you, Delvin, but I think that is fucking awesome. I'm really awesome. Into that idea. Like that concept is really deep. There's a lot that you can do there. You know, you make a decision as a kid, you say some shit, and then as an adult, you pay for that later. You know, that's cool. You know,
sounds
a lot better than
affect the game.
Yeah, it is a lot better than like hop to the other timeline and hide the key so you can hop back and get the key. Like that stuff, I kind of not too into.
Yeah.
So, Amazon has announced Secret Level, an adult animated anthology series featuring original stories set within various video game worlds. This is coming from Blur Studio, the design company that was founded by Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool 2016, Terminator Dark Fate 2019, and the wonderful, if you've never watched it, Love, Death, and Robots that came out on Netflix in 2019. The episodes will be about the video games will be featured with Armored Core, which apparently stars Keanu Reeves is going to be in that. Cool. Yeah, it is cool. Concord, new exclusive IP, will have its own episode. Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, New World, Pac-Man, various PlayStation Studio games like Sifu, Spelunky will have one, The Outer Worlds will have one, Unreal Tournament, and Warhammer will all have an episode. That's pretty cool.
I wonder what adult animated Pac-Man is going to be.
It's an adult animated anthology. It's Cyberpunk Edge Runners for all these different video games.
But Pac-Man, that's what like, okay. What are they going to do? How are they going to adult animate Pac-Man?
Is this true, or did Sean Mendes say talent? I'm catching up on the chat here, and then Sean wrote.
No, he meant tank because I always said they're tainted.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff.
There's he meant another word, taint.
There's so much taint. All right, we're an hour 30, so we're doing pretty good. Let's close this up here. EA College Football has overtaken Helldivers 2 as the best-selling game of the year so far. The launch month dollar sales of College Football 25 more than tripled the total lifetime dollar sales of the previous best-selling college football game, NCAA Football 07. I also saw in passing on threads that it boosted hardware sales, console sales, and accessory sales across the board. So not only did it just move games, it moved games, consoles, it moved everything, services. Also notable, the bundle that featured college football and Madden, both, was number 2. So that's a big reason why the game sold so well, because that one's also selling very well.
Yep,
so this was kind of a boon for EA. They're making hand over fist money.
Yep. I wonder if NCAA is going to completely outsell Madden. I think it will.
I mean, you got a point on if you do, right? Didn't we bet on that? Is that a point? Is that real, or is that just between
Possibly.
us?
I mean, I know we talked about it. I don't know.
We talked about it. I remember. Yeah, I mean, that call, you might absolutely be right. It sold very well. We'll see how Madden's doing.
Madden did shit. Madden's like a 6.7. Like, he reviewed terribly again.
Yeah, but we'll see how it does sales-wise, right?
I was going to say.
Because the NFL hasn't kicked off yet. Wait for the NFL to kick off, and we'll see how it sells. Marvel Rivals launches December, and all heroes will be free. So you won't have to be nickel and dime for every hero and stuff. They said indefinitely. So if you get the game, you play the game, you just get all the future heroes for free.
That's
if
cool.
you're into that sort of thing. Final Fantasy 16 hits PC September 16th. A demo is available now, and you can buy the game for the shocking price of $49.99. It is only $50.
Not bad.
It's that PC, no tax.
Yeah. I think there's a console out there that still doesn't have Final Fantasy 16 on there.
Yeah, I wonder what console that is.
Probably do something about that. Mega Man is coming to Funko Fusion. That was announced. The demo's out, and I played it. I did play as Mega Man. You can do that.
Xbox should have made a trade for Final Fantasy.
Look. We're gonna bring you Indiana Jones in April, but you got to give us Final Fantasy 16. Come on.
Yeah, Pawn Stars. Like Sonny was like, best I can do is $20. like, absolutely not. That's yeah. Oh god, we got to get off that. I'm not gonna do it. That's bait. I'm not getting baited back into it. Silent Hill 2 got a preview blitz on Monday. Everybody got hands on. I think people got to play like 3 hours. And guess what? After a year of bitching and complaining and making articles and threads about how terrible Bloober Team was, everybody loves it. What a turnaround. Everybody's like, this looks great. It looks amazing. It's so much better now. It's like, oh yeah. You know why? Because Silent Hill 2 was awesome. Yeah. I pre-ordered the game. This is Donnie Pass for Haley. I was like, yep, let's go ahead and lock it. So I'll be there for Silent Hill 2. I'm very excited.
On PlayStation.
I was already there.
Absolutely.
All right.
I turned on my PlayStation today for the first time in like months.
Did it cough from all the dust?
No, but I did have to repair my external drive. I had to go through the whole thing. But I turned it on today to make sure that my download was set for Astro and Silent Hill 2. It's like, just make sure it's ready to go. So whenever the time comes, I'm ready to play. Mafia: The Old Country was announced coming in 2025. More information in December. I presume that means at the Game Awards. It was a trailer. We've seen this before. Like, we saw, I think, screenshots, and we knew about the game. This is the first time we've seen it. But it's set in Italy, in old-time Sicily. So, like, the origins of the Mafia, which I think is awesome.
Okay.
So it's cool. Very, Sicilian Godfather type stuff, which is dope. Awesome. Let's do it. Dune Awakening comes to early access in 2025. And this is your last chance to play Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation Plus before it gets removed from whatever tier it's on. It's about to drop out of that. So if you want to play Horizon, it's been on your hard drive or whatever, make sure you go play it.
Give people the game.
I know, right?
It's a good game.
Yeah.
I love that game.
It was really
and that's it. That's the news.
All right. We got a scoring update from Rude Days finally. He stopped slacking and got his shit together. All right. So Delvin got the underwrite on Black Myth Wukong somehow as the PC Metacritic, because there's no reviews for PS5 yet. It's got an 81 and the line was 82.
Hang on a second. I'm going to interrupt you here as Sean comes into the chat. Sean says that Xbox outsold Switch this month.
That's because of college football, sir.
I was going to ask, is it in North America? Is it US only? Because if it's US only, it's absolutely because of college football. And I honestly would love to know like how many new, I would love to know the breakdown of consoles sold by that game, like with that game, because on the Reddits, and I know it's tangible, it's just what I've seen. I think the Xbox Series S has sold like fucking hotcakes for that game. I've seen so many people playing NCAA football with a Series S. It's everywhere. Which I don't think is surprising. It's the cheapest way to play it. I picked mine up for $145. You know, if you buy a brand new PlayStation 5 for $500, you probably pick up a Series S somewhere for $200 and play that game you like to play. You know, so yeah, Series S was kind of I'm interested in the future when somebody comes back, and I want the story to be told, like how important the Series S was for Xbox. It didn't do a whole lot to change things, but I think it'd be way worse if they didn't have it. Like, if they didn't have it, it'd be so much
lights
worse. It really did, man. It's like the Model T. It kept them going.
Yeah.
So yeah, Delvin.
They're saying US. They're saying US data.
Okay.
You got a point, Delvin. Good job. For Madden, me and Delvin got a point because the over was 65. Okay, so let me stop. Let me start over. Madden release, Devin and Delvin both got the points with the over as it got a 67 and the line was 65.5.
I took the under?
Apparently.
Wow.
Fairly.
Must have been maybe a counter pick.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It amazes me that it gets a 65.5.
Yeah, I'm actually crazy. I'm actually crazy like it was even that low.
67? Madden got a 67?
It blows my mind I took the under. I almost want to like go find it and listen to it. I mean, I believe Rudays, but I also realize that like how out of touch we are. He could literally just make this shit up. We'd be like, wow, I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, he's trying to gear Delvin for a come up. That's what it is. He's just trying.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's do it. I hope we all finish the exact same number again.
That'd be great. Yes. So right now, Donnie, you've got 34. Delvin, you've got 30, and I'm sitting at 29. So.
Nice. Good job, guys.
Over under this week's 85.5 for Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. He said, yay, a Zelda game is coming this year.
This is surprised. I think it's sarcasm. Like, yeah, a Zelda game's coming this year.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. There's that too. That's pretty high.
That is pretty high.
Is it?
What did Link's Awakening get?
That's a good question.
An 87. I'll take the over.
Switch bump.
I'll take the over.
You know what? I have faith in this game. I'll take the over. Screw it.
It's got to be better than Link's Awakening.
Yeah. As stupid as it looks, you Nintendo people love this shit, so I'm going to go with the over.
It looks great. Yes. It looks incredible. Game of the year.
Incredible.
It does. Incredible. It looks incredible. Oh, yeah, by far. By far. So much she can fly, man. She can use spiders and climb walls and trees and shit.
So
I'm going to pick up a giant boulder and smash somebody with it. You ain't seen all the fan art online? You need to see her like draw the Empire State Building and smash a macabre with that shit?
Absolutely not.
This is her comeuppance. Get with it, man. Girl power. This is the rage.
Yeah. I agree.
Last one over under for 83.5 for Silent Hill 2.
Over.
The original Silent Hill got an 89, by the way.
You said 83?
83.5.
I'll go over, but not by much.
Doesn't matter how much you go over by.
That's not a thing. That doesn't.
Like, it's not a thing. like
$1.
$1, Bob. I always hate those fuckers. Every time we're watching the show, and they're like, "What did he been? $3, Bob." Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'd straight up be like hitting people.
83.5.
It's a good line.
It's a good line. It's a real good line. I'm gonna go under. It's gonna give an 82. 82. Fuck it.
That'd be good.
I'm already losing. I don't care.
I mean, we got the recency bias because we just saw all the hype previews.
Yeah.
And what's
just to
what
get
the
you guys
previews do?
excited for it.
Previews get everybody hyped up, pre-order, and the reviews come out, and they're like, "This shit sucks."
Yep.
Happens all the time.
Pretty, but it's hollow.
Yeah.
So there's your over-unders. We'll find out how well or how bad we do. Question time. God damn it. Ryan Craig says, if you had to give up sex or video games for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? Giving up
Bitches, you lost
video
your
games.
mind?
Giving up video games means you can't even watch them being played. Sex means the same thing. You can't watch porn.
Peace. It's been nice knowing you, Zelda. Pokemon, I'm gonna miss you, Mario.
Well, I
Keep it real, Senua. Keep it real.
What are video games?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you this.
what are those?
I don't play video games now. So
Bingo.
I would
I'm
give
not
up
missing
video
much.
games now willingly if I could just have sex more.
Yeah.
I shut the whole podcast down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan. We don't care about video
that's
games
pretty easy.
that much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not
that
even a
much.
question.
Nah.
Raven
Would you give
Fed
up-
says,
Video games are like your favorite food, like mac and cheese or video games.
Mm.
I'm trying to
That's
find
a
something
good
that's a
one.
little closer. Like
I
what's something that's a
give
little
up
closer?
my favorite food because there's plenty of other food.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a group of foods?
Like saying give
No, I
up
can't.
breakfast foods.
Like what if you gave up? Like would you give up meat or video games?
I don't like vegetables, so I'd have to give up the video games.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like. No, I'm not
sweets
saying
or video games. You can no longer have any, no candy, pies, anything.
that.
video
I give up
games.
sweets.
I'd give
All
up,
of them.
Yeah, because I'd just be
give up
healthier and be
food.
playing video games. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with it.
I thought of that too.
Oh,
Like I don't do it. Obviously, you see how fat I am. I don't do it. But if I had to, if I
Yeah.
was forced to do it, I probably would.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. All right. Raven Fed says if you got to pick a remake, a real remake, not this 5 years later remake bullshit, but something like a Q-Bird or Super Mario,
He went to
Zelda Link's to the
Q-Bird.
Past. He's old. What do you expect?
maybe
Lunar
back to
Silver
Pokemon.
Story, whatever the hell that is. He said something at least 25 years old, not just a next gen upgrade. What would you pick? He said he'd love to see a Link to the Past or Lunar Silver Star done in 3D environment. He said, I'm curious what you guys would like to see come alive with today's graphics.
There's one answer
I
for
asked-
this.
I answer this question all the time, the same way, and I'm gonna keep answering the same way till they fucking do it. Parasite Eve. Give
No,
them fucking
that's
Parasite
not
Eve
the
back.
answer.
That's his answer.
That's
Yeah,
my
it's not
answer.
the
I'm
answer,
sticking
though.
with it.
You and 6 other people.
Goddamn right.
The answer is Metal Gear Solid.
God damn
Well,
it,
we're
Danny.
getting
Don't
there.
pick my answer.
That's because that's the answer.
We're
The
getting there,
answer is
though.
Metal Gear Solid. If you could Resident Evil 4 remake Metal Gear Solid, that's the answer.
We're
Yeah,
gonna get
That's
that
what I
though.
want.
Eventually,
Yeah,
Maybe.
we're not getting
We'll see what
that.
happens.
35.
All right.
We're not going to
We'll be
make it
forced
that
to
long.
give up video games by that point.
Long as we're not forced to give up sex.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid for sure. That's what I'd pick. Yeah.
I was thinking A Link to the Past. Like you have Link Between Worlds. I know it's not
You
a
have
remake,
several-
but it basically is. It's kind of is.
Yeah, you have a few
Yeah.
of those.
I was gonna say even Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's what a Link to the Past would look like in 3D. So
Yeah.
close enough.
But Metal Gear Solid, like the brand new, the whole.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Eat it
Let's
up.
do it.
That'd be great. But we gotta get that. I know we're getting that.
It's been
Mario-
rumored for 30 years at this point.
Mario 64. Like the remake, like the full blown, everything is redone. Mario 64 would be dope.
That could be fun. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I didn't really play the first one, so fuck you, Mario.
This is
Sorry.
why you got slandered for 30 minutes on Shaq.
100%.
I don't
right here.
give a shit.
Constantly.
If you're talking about me on Shaq, I'm happy. I've done something right. Even if it's slander, because all press is good press.
Wow.
I'm on the hearts and minds of y'all in Shaq. That's just how I roll.
On the hearts, maybe the bottom of our shoe, apparently. You
That's
listen to the
fine.
show.
You're still talking about me. I'm still in your mouth.
Only because we were asked. It wasn't voluntary. Like we
Yeah,
didn't, we didn't bring it up.
No, we didn't.
Hey, it's fine by me. As long as I'm being talked about, works for me. Kyle the Pug says,
Fuck you, Kyle the Pug.
what are
That's
your
what he
3
says?
day one?
That's not what Kyle the Pug says. That's what Delvin the
It
Pug
could be.
says.
It could be.
You should change
He
your name
wants
to
to know-
Delvin the Pug.
Delvin
It's a
the
good
Pug.
idea.
Let's do it right now. Doing it live. He wants to know what are our 3 day one games from Gamescom and what made you go, meh, I'm not interested.
Man, I ain't watched that shit.
I didn't watch it
Yeah.
either.
I didn't
But I
watch
mean,
it.
I've seen enough games that I can. I mean, yeah. Dying Light, Mafia, and somebody help me with something else.
I couldn't take it. Everything on there made me go, meh, not interested. There wasn't a single thing announced like at live. I was like, oh yeah.
All games announced
Nothing got me.
at Gamescom. There's a few. I wish listed a couple games and like doing the news and stuff.
Yep.
Um,
Did you even look at the list, Delvin?
Absolutely not.
Too busy having
Lost
sex?
Records. Lost Records can be my third game.
Yeah, Lost Records is the fifth one.
My Meg game is absolutely the return of Peter Molyneux with some God RTS Fable bullshit that he's trying to peddle. I was like, what is this? Go away. Go
What?
back wherever you came.
That-
You didn't see that?
That happened?
Yeah, Peter Molyneux's back. He came out. He introduced his new game. It's either called Albion or he said it's set in Albion. Something about Albion. He's trying to tie it to Fable. It's some God sim, but it's like an RTS where
No.
like you can make all the clothes and make all the villages, and then you like will go out into the forest and fight the people. But you're God, right? You have the hand of God, and you're doing it all from top down. It's very
So
Peter
you
Molyneux.
black
shit.
and
So-
white again?
So it's populous.
Yeah, yes, Dev. That's but not good, but janky, like but not good. It looks like a Fable skin of that NFT shit he was trying to do a couple years ago. Is what it looked like to me. I was like, dude,
Jeez.
please go away. Like, please stop. Just stop already.
Who's
Just
still
let it
giving
go.
this man capital to make things? Like,
Yeah.
can we just cut him off? Like, stop it.
So that would be my. Oh, it's called Masters of Albion, is what it's called.
No, I'm cool on that.
Terrible.
Yeah.
The other one that I thought was, I don't want to say weird, but like definitely something. So you have like the Little Nightmares team, right? They make the little dark horror puzzle platformer.
I know.
Apparently they switched studios, and at some point they took the franchise and gave it to a new studio. Well, the studio that made the first one reappeared this week. They have a new game. It's called Reanimals. Guess what? The fucker's Little Night. It's like the same game. It is the same game. It's like on the same file. I was like, man, do something else. Don't show up
Wow.
with the same font. Like, what the fuck, man?
I just cheated off somebody's homework.
It looks exactly this. I was like, you literally could have just put Little Nightmares on it, and people would have been like, oh, I guess that's the new Little Nightmares game. So I wasn't too big on that one either.
You're not like super hyped for the Dark Pictures anthology, Delvin? That was there.
Oh, that was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm all in.
Oh Lord. TPR wants to know what's your go-to bar food and why? Burgers, wings, etc. I'm a child. It's chicken
Nachos?
fingers or chicken
Tenders.
Yeah.
Tenders and fingers.
Yep.
Wow.
1000%. I haven't been to a bar in I don't know how long. Like it's been a
Yeah,
long
you go to restaurants that have
time.
bars. I saw you say that earlier. Like you go to restaurants that have bars.
Yeah, I don't go
I
eat
don't
at the
drink-
bar.
Even Applebee's and shit. Like they sell bar food. Like that's bar food.
I'm not going to Applebee's. Ugh.
Well, I mean, like things like that.
Yeah, we're not going to the bar. That's for sure. Go to a restaurant.
I'm a loaded fries guy. I do like a good
Oh.
chicken wing.
those are good. Loaded fries are
Yeah.
really good.
I'm a chicken wings guy. I like that. So I'm into either of those.
Buffalo wings are
Burgers.
good.
Burgers. I'm not sure. The older I get, the more appreciation I have for a good burger. I actually had this conversation with my wife several months ago. I was like, because I used to, anytime we went out to eat before, I used to always get steak. And at some point in time, like it really started, I'm like, yeah, but if I can get a good burger, I think now like a good burger is like above like a standard steak for me now.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
But it's got to be
Can I
not like
take your
some
order?
fast food bullshit, but like a really well-made cheeseburger. I do adore. That's some good stuff.
Yeah. My wife makes those at home. I'm not going out for that. She can make a really good burger here.
Sure. I mean, I make mine at home too. What's your go-to burger?
Western bacon cheeseburger.
It's like barbecue sauce, onion stuff.
Barbecue sauce, onion rings, bacon,
Yeah.
cheese. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
I'm a black and blue guy. I like the blue cheese, the bacon, lettuce,
like those too.
tomato. Yeah. Maybe
Again,
mushrooms.
I'm a child.
Yeah.
John32 says Plucky Squire will be coming to PS Plus on day one. Do you think the inclusion of games like this into the PS Plus ecosystem will sway where people play the game? Do you see this trend continuing? He had planned to play Plucky Squire on Switch, but given that he already has the PS subscription, that's where he'll play it instead.
Yeah. I mean, if you already have the subscription, you should play there because you're already paying for the subscription.
Unless
Do
your
I
name
think
is
people are
Delvin and
gonna
you
go-
have Game Pass.
Do I
Yeah.
think people are going to go subscribe to the extra tier for play? I don't think so. Probably not.
No.
Just buy the game. It's a cheap game.
But
But
there
if you're already in it, yeah, play the game.
but there is some people who probably want to play this on the Switch because of how it looks and the style. They're like,
I'm
we
gonna
just
get
will
on
play
Switch.
it here. Yeah.
To me, this is
Wonder
very
how
much
it's
like
gonna
a
run on
Switch
Switch.
game. Probably not well. Probably at 30. And chances are, like I do so many with these quote unquote Switch games, is I'll get it on Switch to see how it does, and I'll play it on Ally.
Does it come into PC?
Yeah, I mean everything in Devolver's on PC. Why wouldn't it come to PC?
Oh. I don't know. I haven't played attention to this game. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it
So
didn't.
is it just not coming to Xbox?
It's coming to Xbox. It's coming everywhere.
Oh.
It's just
Yeah.
it's coming to the
It's launching
PlayStation
into PS Plus.
extra tier or whatever. Yeah,
Correct.
Okay.
the non-essential tier. It's in one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think people are going to subscribe to extra for stuff like this, like going forward? When games
I think
launch
if
into-
it was
they've had
like-
a couple of games launched there.
I was gonna say if they had one of these like every month, then people probably would subscribe and just play them that way. But if there's no because that's I bring it up all the time. That's a big reason. That is honestly my second favorite reason that I have Game Pass. The reason I have Game Pass so I can play Gears and stuff. Like I have the whole collection, everything's there, right? These are games I don't play anyway. But the glue, like the Series S to my Game Pass, the thing that keeps it going, are the indie drops. Every month they drop like 2 brand new day one indie games in the Game Pass. And that saves me $10-20 a month on games I buy on Steam, I buy on Switch. Saves me money all the time. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me subscribed. Otherwise, I would, like everybody else, I would subscribe when games come out and unsubscribe. But what keeps me going is they always have a game here and there that saves me money.
I don't think you can subscribe and unsubscribe to Plus Extra. I think it's like if you have
Is
it
it
for a
annual
year,
only?
you upgrade and it's
That's
You
what
just
Xbox
upgrade.
needs to do. They
yeah.
should do that. When they started raising prices and stuff like that, there a lot of people are like, they need to stop. They're worried about churn. They're worried about, I was like, then make the stop letting people buy it for a month.
Yeah.
Make it 6 months. You got to buy it for 6 months. You know, like you got to get in. If you're going to buy it, you got to at least get in. You know, make them do that. Make it like a deal. Like what I would do is I would sell it for like, I don't know how much is Game Pass. I don't even know how much Game Pass is.
I don't know.
So I assume it's like $15-20 a month, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So what you do is you sell it like a full price game. Like $70 a Game Pass gets you 6 months. Like give them a discount, but you're essentially buying a full game, right? You're buying a game, and then just sell it in that, and you got to stay subscribed. I would just do that.
Yarden, all the way out of left field, says, should musicians who make bad cover songs be given the death penalty?
Yes.
So is this a thing? Did something just happen? Like
I have
am I missing
no
out on
idea.
some story or something?
Yes. I agree wholeheartedly. Any musician who makes a badass cover song should be just murdered, just beaten with bricks.
Wow.
I
Jesus.
fucking hate it. Like I want the death penalty for these awful people who make these songs.
Maybe they just tried to do something different and didn't pan out. That's okay.
No.
Is there an artist who is catching all of this this
who hurt
flack from you? Is there somebody who did this? Who hurt you?
There's this group, and if this is your favorite group, I'm sorry, but you're a terrible person. Falling in Reverse, and they keep doing these covers of songs like Gangsta's Paradise and all these hip hop songs, and I fucking hate every last one of them. I want them to stop. I don't know who keeps telling them to do this shit.
I'm looking up the worst cover songs of all time, and I've gotten to William Shatner, who apparently covered Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Ugh.
Oh my god!
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Lucy in the Sky.
Oh
Diamonds.
no, man! They've got Pearl Jam with Last Kiss. I love that song. It's a great cover. What's the
I
problem?
don't know what that is.
I heard yesterday.
Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal. That's an excellent cover. Of
That's a
song.
good cover
That's
song.
a great
Yeah,
cover.
That's
a great cover.
This is number 15 on the worst cover songs of all time.
That shouldn't be there.
That's crazy.
No, that's a great
That's a
cover.
good one. Dev, I heard a cover song
Oh, this list just sucks. I'm gonna get off this.
of
list.
I'll Be Sure doing Hotel California.
That
And it's
sounds
fucking
terrible.
awful. It is
Why?
awful.
That sounds
Exactly. It's awful. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, why did you do this?
How long ago was this? Is he trying to like find some relevancy or something? Like what the?
I think it was in the late 90s, which makes it even more weird.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they should get the death penalty, but they should have their rights to make music revoked.
Death!
You should no longer be allowed to make music, which might be death for some
just
people.
exiled.
Yeah,
exiled
you're
from
no
the
longer allowed
microphone.
to
You're
do this.
done.
Yeah.
You go
You're
to
done.
Cover Island.
That's good. That's good.
Do you guys have a favorite cover? I'm still trying to find bad ones. Oh, okay. Jessica Simpson, These Boots Are Made for Walking. That is a terrible cover.
That is a bad one, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
Oh, I've never even heard that.
Madonna's cover of American Pie is also terrible. That's pretty bad. I remember that one. Apparently, Miley Cyrus covered Smells Like Teen Spirit. I've never heard that.
I would never. Oh boy, that sounds horrible.
Sometimes she nails it though. She covered Madonna's Like a Prayer, and it's fucking incredible. And I'm not a Miley fan by any means, but I heard it and I was like, damn, she destroyed this song. Sometimes she pulls one out. So I don't know. But those are Rolling Stones' worst covers.
I really like T-Pain's cover of Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, that's a good one for sure. Yeah. I think my favorite cover is Metallica cover Turn the Page by Bob Seger in the 90s. And I love that cover. They gave that song. It's like this. You guys know the song?
No.
The saxophone song.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. Well, I thought they gave that song. The song has like some really gritty lyrics. And I think they like the power chords and the metal that they added to it. I think added a lot to the song.
Yeah, I got nothing for that.
Ooh, Sean.
I have
Hurt.
one.
Hurt. Yeah. Johnny Cash covered 9 Inch Nails. That was a big thing back when I was in high school, a teenager.
I have a whole album. Weezer's the Teal album. I don't remember the name of it.
Of course. Yeah.
It's really good, and it's nothing but
their
covers.
their Toto cover was like charted for like a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it a lot. And the Take On Me is really good, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah,
good
really
album.
Never heard it. I have to look that up.
Yeah. I also like that cover from Bad Wolf, Sean. It was nice they did that when Dolores passed away. That was pretty cool.
So what do you get if you do a good cover? So bad cover, death. Good cover, what do you get?
Bitches.
Cookie.
Bitches?
Yeah, I like Donnie Sampson better.
I mean, a cookie is, it's the cookie, So it works.
Bitches.
Mhm. Oh, what was the
Rusty Cage
suddenly
sounds
just
like
had
a porn star
thought that hit
move.
me.
Gave that girl a Rusty Cage.
Yeah, Guns N'
Oh my
Roses
God.
covered "Sympathy for the Devil." That's an interesting one.
What? That sounds interesting.
It's pretty good for Guns N' Roses. Like it's very Guns N' Roses, but it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. I
Okay.
didn't hate it. I think their cover of they do a cover of "Live and Let Die" that I think is better. It's much better.
Cool. All right, last question tonight from John 32. He says, do we think Xbox may have made a great move pushing Avowed to February versus releasing in this busy ass season?
Well, it wasn't releasing in this busy ass season. It was supposed to release in November, right?
I don't know. Is
Sean,
November
when was
busy?
Avowed supposed to come out?
I think it's a great move because it can match this PlayStation release date.
Shit. Could you imagine if they dated it day and day? Like that would be fucking amazing. Oh, that'd be great.
Winning! You won, Delvin. You won
Oh,
this
man.
episode of Play Some Video Games, sir.
I forget when it was supposed to come out. I thought it was supposed to come out in November, but now I'm thinking like maybe it was October.
Maker says November 12th was the
Yeah.
leaked
Oh,
Avowed release
Yeah,
date.
and I don't think it's nearly as busy in November. So
Usually isn't.
the only point, because look, I have not been like all that sold on Avowed, but I will tell you the latest Gamescom trailer that came out, that's as best the game has ever looked. So it looks like it's starting to come together. With them delaying Avowed, they've kind of vacated the year. Like their big games that they've got coming out for the holiday are Flight Sim, Starfield DLC. You know, it's
What they got Indy. Indy comes out December.
in December.
That's a PlayStation
I don't-
game.
that's
It's a PlayStation
December.
game.
It was
Stop,
like
stop.
how much does I get you're right. It does quote unquote it counts, but I don't think people count that for the fall, the holiday season. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. It comes out after the Game Awards, but sure. We'll count that.
It comes out before Christmas, so
Barely.
it was barely before
Like
Christmas.
literally the Friday before.
Yeah, there you go.
But you're right. You're right. That game, and hey, hang on. Let me put in a caveat. If that date holds, let's put that like there's a lot of time between now and December, man.
That's a good
They
point.
might just say, you
If-
know what, we're going to release it day and date the same time as PlayStation.
I'm just
We're not
saying,
even-
and
it's not ready.
that's not even
Not
as a joke. It's half a joke, but also
Yeah.
like literally every game they've made that isn't Flight Sim for the last 5 years has been delayed. Flight Sim is the fucking game, man. That is the one game that they put on the counter, and that motherfucker's gonna be there. It's gonna show up like Flight Sim is always there for you.
Whether you
That's
want
That's
it
what
to or
Xbox
not.
stands for. They're standing
God,
on
I can't
Flight Sim
stand that
business.
fucking game. I'm so sick and tired of people putting that logo on shit. Like
Between
nobody
Flight
cares.
Sims, Flight Sim and Series S is what's keeping Xbox afloat here. It's what's keeping the
whole
lights
damn
on.
thing is just Flight Sim. I think they've got something else. They've got DLC, right? Help me, Sean. Oh fuck, Sean. There it is. I say, help me, Sean. Yeah, Call of Duty, of course. Yeah,
Oh
Call
yeah,
of Duty. Yeah, it hits
Is
Game
that
Pass.
is that an
There you
Xbox
go.
game?
That's the big one. It is an Xbox game, Dan. Yeah, there you go.
it is.
That's the big
Technically,
one.
yeah.
They got World of Warcraft too. They've got World of
Sure.
Warcraft coming as well.
The only
Yeah.
thing about that is it would have been there either way. Like it was always going to be there, and it was always going to be on
Mhm.
Xbox that day, right? But it is in Game Pass, and to Sean's credit, that is a gigantic deal. That is a big deal. But their first party studio stuff is Flight Sim, Starfield. They've got DLCs. They've got like several games that are in DLC. Diablo, maybe. They've got a couple things that are like getting expansions. But like all the games that we thought we were going to have, yeah, they've all moved. They've all moved to next year, which is interesting because that's what they all did last year.
Last year. Mhm.
That's what Hellblade and everything. And everybody's
It's
like,
just-
and we're already seeing the same thing. You see the graphics, everybody's like, fucking 2025 is going to be lit. And like, I can't help but look at those and be like, half of that's not going to arrive. We'll see.
No, it's
Well-
all going to hit. They're delaying it so they can get the PlayStation port right. That's
Get it
what-
ready. Get it ready.
Yeah, they're getting it ready for PlayStation.
Look,
No.
one day they are all going to hit. Like it is going. One day it's going to happen. They're all going to make it, and it's going to be a fucking stellar year. I hope it's next year. I really do.
I mean,
that would be great.
As long as everybody hasn't sold their Xboxes by then.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be great next year. Next year at the moment looks amazing. You kick off with Avowed. What do they got? They got Doom, which looks incredible, and Fable, and what's the other one, guys?
Xbox, I don't know.
Yeah, the South of Midnight game.
Oh, the only Xbox game I'm actually excited for.
Yeah, that one looks cool.
Yeah. That's who I won the Logitech G Pro, whatever the hell it's called from. I won it from their community director.
From South of Midnight?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
You gotta get the Game Pass. You gotta get your cloud streaming on.
No, I'm not doing all that.
I have to contact this game man, and I'm gonna have Sean reach out to the director and be like, "Yeah, don't send that one out. Just start sending them some clips." They respond back to Dev. They're like, "Unfortunately, we can no longer send you this."
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not playing it on Xbox.
I'm excited to hear what you think about it. It's a neat idea. I kind of wish that Logitech followed it up with like an improvement. That thing's been out a few years now, right? It feels like it's kind of old. Yeah, it's been a while. I feel like I had that thing like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long.
Like
it's
2 years,
37
I've had
handhelds.
yeah, I know. I've had so many handhelds since then. Man, it's been a long time. Yeah, it's just like an underpowered Android tablet. But it's a cool package. It's a cool screen. I like the idea. Remote play worked. Well, it did until I think they updated all their stuff. Remote play works really well on the Xbox. If that helps you at all. GeForce works really well. GeForce Now is really good on that thing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll see if I could dig up any of my old screenshots and send them to you.
Yeah. It'll go to my son. He'll play it. It'll be good for him. I don't really do the handheld stuff. I'm not gonna flip it.
You can get that $1,000 SSD expansion for your PlayStation.
I would have to play games on PlayStation to
That
need
thing's
storage?
insane. 8 terabytes? That's crazy. I love it. That's awesome. But that's a lot. How many games is 8 terabytes?
It's
like you're just downloading.
It's 8 Call of Duties. That's what it is. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that. That was the big news last week, and this is how much news we had. We didn't even talk about that. Call of Duty announced last week, after all that shit we talked about the week before, about how they need to fix all that. They literally had an entire blog post where they're like, yeah, we're fixing all of that. They're going to fix their launcher. They're going to fix their navigation, and they're going to decouple Warzone from their actual releases. They're going to let us pick and choose, like all the things that we were like, please do this. Literally the week after we said that, they were like, yeah, we're going to do that. That's awesome. That's big stuff.
Fantastic. Very excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to make Black Ops 6 much better. Hopefully.
Yeah. Delvin might actually play one now because it won't require him to install everything.
Exactly.
He's not going to do that. He's going to try to install a Steam Deck and realize it doesn't work.
No, they're definitely doing that. That's not a bad idea.
You're going to buy that 8 terabyte PS5 drive and install everything. You should do it.
Goddamn right.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
You only live
Treat
once.
yourself.
Want to be a baller.
Just buy.
Shot caller.
Yeah.
Just buy a
8 terabytes.
8 terabyte drive.
8 terabyte drive.
Okay, that does it for this episode of Play Some Video Games. We hope you enjoyed all of our shenanigans. Tell a friend, and until next time, play some video games.
Nobody's sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.